So since Weston's dead, how should we start this off?
Let's just call him Weston.
No,
so you're Weston today?
Speak to him like he's Weston.
Do that.
He
don't.
will just forever be Weston.
My mom is gonna be watching this.
Your mom's gonna be watching this?
I told my mom, to be honest, she's like, hey, do you want to check it out? She's like, yeah, I'll check it out.
Well, now I feel like we definitely need to embarrass you.
I don't care. Do whatever you gotta do.
If your mom's gonna be watching.
Do whatever you gotta do.
And from Weston's desecrated corpse, Chris emerged.
That's a really scary thought, though, if you think about it.
It was better than you saying he's being birthed.
I said popped out. I said you popped out.
It's better than Weston's got the poops and popped out.
Pretty much the same language.
Oh, man.
Please don't tell me we're live right now.
Oh, no, we are.
Oh, 100%.
We're totally live,
this
yeah.
is, we've been going.
How come I didn't get that?
We've been going here. So welcome
You don't
to
have that on your
episode
chat only.
34, right? 34.
Possibly.
Welcome to episode 34 of Uncalled 4. So it's Uncalled 444, 34. Right? 34, 3 4s.
Okay.
It makes sense if you don't think about it. We're every single Monday night. We get together and just
Technically,
talk.
there'd be 4 4s because it's Uncalled 4. 34.
So it'd be 4 4 4 4.
It's 4 plus 3 times 4.
Plus 3 times 4,
Yes,
so
so
it's
we
4
got
plus
lots-
12, so
lots of
it's
them.
Uncalled 16.
Yes.
All right, well, welcome to episode Uncalled 16. I guess it's the first ever episode of that. So, where every Monday night we get together and just talk random stuff. And what end of the table should we start on? Who wants to go
Weston
first?
can go first.
Okay.
No, not me first, please. Not me.
Okay,
Not
so
me.
Logan first.
Weston's dead.
I
Chris
can go
is with
first.
us.
All right, yeah, we'll go Logan first. Let's go.
All right, so
What are you talking about again?
well, I will
We'll
enlighten
let
you.
him introduce it.
I'll enlighten you. So, as most of you guys know, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and
Are you?
just this past week we got another direct, just out of the blue. They announced it, and then the next day it happened. So I know Chris probably can't contribute a ton,
Wow, you pick a
But-
topic on his first one ever where he can't contribute at all. I'm so
But
sorry.
I mean,
Dan-
he can contribute.
yeah, but
because
Dan
he's
will-
played games.
yeah,
That's true.
But like he hasn't seen it, so we'll have
Yeah.
to kind of fill
I
him
feel
in.
like
I mean, you didn't
Chris-
miss that
but-
much.
Right.
So.
I feel like Chris's video game knowledge is the equivalent to my mom, where like everything was the Nintendo no matter what. It's like turn off the Nintendo.
I
as
don't
I'm
think
playing
so.
PS2.
Because Chris plays a lot of games.
Plays a lot of
Chris is a gamer.
Yeah,
I
Chris is
I
a
have to
gamer.
throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point you're more of that than he is, Jordan.
What do you mean? I play video games for a living.
You play 2 games.
Minecraft and Sea of Thieves.
But yeah, so
Truth.
I don't like this.
So for my
Let's
top-
move on.
for my topic, just kind of what are your guys' thoughts on the direct, and we'll kind of run down what all happened, what all was announced. But yeah, kind of overall, what are your thoughts? And then we'll
Okay,
get into
so
the
you're
breakdown.
gonna have to fill me in a bit. I do know of a few things. I am super excited for Switch Sports. I think that's gonna be super fun, remaking Wii Sports like that. Like that's just gonna be fun for me. I'm excited. I want to bowl again. And then also the Mario Kart DLC, 48 tracks coming over the next 2 years. Like that's huge.
Yep.
And I'm super pumped for that. I
Yeah.
want to see this. I want to play these.
Yeah.
And they're bringing back old tracks from like past games. Is it all old tracks? Or are they gonna have any new ones?
Well, it's all like remastered stuff.
Well, yeah, so
it's
there's
all
no-
previous tracks.
There's no new
There's
ones then.
technically new ones in the sense of like they have the mobile game tracks they're bringing over too.
yeah,
Um,
they have the
so those are brand new.
the DS stuff and all that stuff, but
Okay.
Yeah. So
they're all the same tracks, just remade.
yeah,
Gotcha.
so-
I'm excited.
yeah, I'm excited too.
But
Dan?
those are the only 2 things about the direct that I actually know.
Okay, so we'll talk more about what else was there, but no, those are 2 big ones for sure. Dan, what about you? Because we watched it together. So.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wasn't blown away by anything, but I never am with Nintendo. That's just kind
Yeah.
of my thoughts on the thing.
That's just typical Nintendo for you.
Yeah, they never do anything that hits all the or checks all the boxes for me. So,
What do you think about
I know you're a huge Earthbound guy.
Oh, we'll
so
get into that. I'm super pumped about that.
You're overly hyped about that one. You and Trevor were pretty hyped about Strikers.
Yes, which we'll talk about too. I have a lot of thoughts on that. That's gonna be awesome.
What was it? Kirby and I don't remember what else.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and then what are some other big ones? I mean Splatoon 3. They showed some stuff for,
Sure.
which I'm excited for that. 'cause I
I've
like
never
Splatoon.
played Splatoon before.
Oh, it's a great shooter. Great online shooter.
I feel like great shooters and Nintendo usually
Don't
don't
go
go
together.
hand in
No,
hand.
this one is like it's so innovative for the shooter genre, and it's really fun.
What's it like?
So it's basically
It's not.
You shoot paint.
You
at
shoot,
people.
but it's not really a shooter.
No, you're
It's like
covering them in paint.
objective almost,
it is objective based, but it is
which is fine. That's different. But
the whole point of the game is you're an inkling is what it's called. It's like an ink squid kid. You can
you're a squid human hybrid thing.
yeah squid. It's like
You're not even a human hybrid, but you just
Yeah.
you take on the shape.
Interesting.
You're Squidward.
so.
I'm
What happens
Squidward.
is
Minus
like
the nose.
the whole premise is like each team has their color, and the point is like their gun fires paint, and it splatters onto the field. And to win the game, you have to have your color the most on the field, and you can like shoot the other team, and it like can kill them, and like you just want to get as much paint as you can on the field and win. And so it started off as just kind of this weird offshoot Wii game, a Wii U
Honestly,
game.
that's a game you could totally play and stream.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And so yeah, it started off this kind of this offshoot thing Nintendo was trying with the Wii U, and it got this huge following. And then the Switch came out, and they announced 2, and now it's become just kind of a Nintendo franchise, honestly. Like, it's just... the story is actually pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of lore to the world. Like, it is kind of just like... The whole world of it is like it's a post-apocalyptic world where, like, humans have died off, and, like...
Squid have taken
like,
their place.
Well, it's yeah, pretty much. It's like the sea life has evolved to like sentience and like become humanoid.
I just love the thought of of like squids coming out of the ocean with guns and just taking over things now.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
all I can
really
think of.
it's a really cool, innovative
I
game.
think that comment's for you.
So I saw that.
And-
Are you so like staying to topic here? Are you more into like arcade shooters or more into like I guess simulated like realistic shooters?
I mean, I like both. I think I
what have you played?
like so. For example, like I think simulators. I think of like Battlefield. I'd probably say.
Which the
No.
new Battlefield game
Which
is
new one?
trash.
New one. I want to
Honestly,
say.
I think they all are.
Ins-
Okay, Battlefield
It's-
3 was awesome.
But like I say that like Battlefield like simulator is, and then like Call of Duty is more arcade.
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm
have you ever
saying.
tried Insurgents Desert Storm?
No.
I mean, that is like straight up like if you take one shot, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's one
yeah.
of those, and like I mean,
Yeah.
like you
If
have
you
to
want a realistic
you
shooter,
have to
play
strategically
Tarkov.
go around and
yeah, I don't
it's-
think I do lean towards the more arcadey ones, like your Call of Duties, your
yeah.
stuff like that. But
Rainbow Six Siege, I've actually liked quite a bit.
Siege is good. I like
Dude,
that game.
I cannot stand Rainbow Six Siege.
I haven't minded it.
It is awesome.
That entire game is basically just people shooting a hole in a wall.
It's
like
strategy based.
That's 3 bullets wide, and they will
You
sit
gotta
there
be actually
and they
think about
will
it.
watch
You gotta
that
be good.
one hole in the wall. And as soon as the pixel changes colors, they shoot and you're dead.
If you want a realistic shooter, it's a looter shooter, but play Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, I've heard that's good too.
I heard really good things about that. Yeah,
If I had a PC, I'd play that entirely too much.
yeah.
But,
A lot of actually, Tom was playing that Thursday night.
It's
even.
a sick game. I watch people play it all the time, but also you will rage.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, that's
That's,
what I've heard.
that's kind of part of gaming, though, isn't it?
yeah, but this one probably more than others.
Okay.
But when it comes to like back to Splatoon, like it's a very different shooter. Like it is arcadey. It's definitely not realistic. Like your Escape
Yeah.
from
I mean, it's
Tarkov.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
But it's it's
Good point.
very innovative. It does a lot. Like it's like a very different shooter. The online's amazing. Like you can hop in and get a match done in a few minutes, and it's really for Nintendo especially. The online's really good. The story's great.
It's simple.
It's yeah.
It's very simple.
So I'm excited for 3. I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do differently than 2, because I think they kind of need to do some stuff where it's worth the whole number.
So you've
Chris
too much.
apologizes for anyone wearing headphones.
I am so sorry.
Because like
I'm just gonna.
Okay,
yeah.
don't slide up because he's gonna pick up everything.
We're just gonna.
Just
Technically,
be-
it's his first time at the table.
I'm
I
sorry.
know,
He's a
I know,
newbie.
cut him
but
some slack.
it's microphone etiquette. Like,
I didn't
Yeah.
know.
You
But
know what?
just
Dan, don't you dare start.
I may or may not have started the stream like that.
I hate
Are
you.
you serious?
I hate
Why,
you.
why are you giving me crap if you've
No,
done the exact same?
I just
I
did it again.
I literally did it when you
Oh,
were yelling at
man.
Chris. I was going over here like this, like just rubbing. But
I hate you.
Yeah, so
We love
getting back on topic, my thing is I'm curious to see what they do differently in that game to where it's warranted a sequel, like not just DLC.
I feel that about a lot of Nintendo games. I know I'm very harsh. It always seems like I crap on Nintendo.
What you do?
But I think I'm realistic. I think I'm very realistic.
Believe it or not, I actually agree with a lot of your takes on Nintendo.
Like
what
I'm not
games?
trying. I like their IPs and stuff. I like their culture, but I just want them to be the best that they can be, and they don't care about that.
They don't. No, you're absolutely right.
They do not care. So, like, I think it's warranted. Like, I'm being realistic. They can do such good things. I don't have that, like, Logan type feel for it where it's lots of nostalgia and, you know,
Like Nintendo
reminiscent
can
and
do no
awesome, you know?
wrong.
No, but, like, you know, and you feel that love all the time, no matter, like, what. I see what's wrong, and I
Yeah.
call it out.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could say that about any gaming company.
You know,
like
he's
I think Microsoft,
Sure.
Sony has their
And I do that with them,
issues,
too, but
EA.
Nintendo has been how many years of the same thing?
And that's true. They were like the first big like.
I don't know. I guess I see it. You know, like there definitely is. I don't doubt there. I know there's issues with Nintendo. I think Legends Arceus, for example, could have been polished a bit more. But like
We talked about that last week.
I think I don't know. I think they're more about gameplay than anything, and I think
A
it
certain
shows.
type of gameplay.
If that were the case, their games would be more polished.
Well, see,
Yeah.
if
They're not
That-
high quality gameplay.
I think-
They're about fun.
I think
They're
they're
about fun.
incredibly like good about
No.
gameplay. Like I mean, look at Sony. Like I love what Sony's doing with their games, but a lot of their like IPs fall into the same genre of games. Like Last of
Nintendo
Us.
doesn't.
No,
Are you joking?
Zelda.
I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy this.
I'm getting into this. I want to see this.
So my point with like Sony is like Uncharted and like even like the new God of War. They all kind of fall into this story driven like more
Yes,
linear
story driven.
pathways.
Okay.
But gameplay is so different
Last
between
of Us.
games.
Like
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, Sony is the one of the big three that does story driven content most.
Yeah.
You know,
which
Yeah.
and I'm not.
and that's
I'm
why
not,
I think they're ahead.
Yeah, and I'm not dissing that at all. I love that stuff.
So I
think
also
all
agree
those
with
games
him
are
because
amazing.
he's saying like Nintendo's more family
But, like,
driven. Like it's a certain genre of just like it's
Yeah.
more campy.
you have
kind of
you
gameplay.
have more
I understand
diversity
that.
with Nintendo IPs. You have Zelda, your open world kind of your traditional like open world adventure games. Then you have Mario, which is your partier games. With Mario Odyssey, it's kind of
And it always has
An
been
open-
forever. All
yeah,
of those.
because that's what
Yeah,
Mario
that's
Odyssey
alright.
The thing
That
is,
true.
I'm not
Is the
talking
same
about that.
thing.
You could revamp everything and make all that stuff, same stuff, look way better.
It's not
Make
just
it
the gameplay.
much smoother. Make everything better. They don't care about that, though, is what I'm saying.
See, I disagree.
And
I
they
think-
don't. If they did, they'd change it. They have the money.
But like, I think there's some games I do agree with that, but I think for the most part, like look at Odyssey. Like, how do you what's so bad? Like Odyssey looks amazing, and
But
the
it's
game.
the same
alright.
exact thing as Super Mario 64.
But you could say that about any franchise. Assassin's Creed, they changed their formula a little bit with.
No, I know.
Od-
I
with
love
the-
Assassin's Creed. I'm sorry, but they do not. No, I'm kidding. I love it. They don't. It's the same game, a different reskin, different time period.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same game every single
No,
time.
exactly. Like,
yeah.
Call
I
of
always
Duty.
crap on this.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like it's all like you can't just diss Nintendo for doing the same
They
thing with Mario. 'cause
Level
that's what
up
Mario is.
software and hardware throughout the ages, though. Nintendo does not.
I
will agree to this point. So Sony games, there's individual games which will branch off into different spectrums of genres.
I'm not
Okay?
talking genres.
Where Nintendo, which is where I agree with you, Nintendo really doesn't. It's just one kind of genre. It's the fun, happy, family play, and then it doesn't change from that. It's like it's too afraid to, I guess the word I'm thinking of is innovate.
Well, no, I would disagree with that because I think Nintendo is the innovative company out of the three.
I
Like,
don't.
I
No.
disagree
no,
too.
not at all.
I would have to disagree.
What? You're telling me
How
that
are they innovative?
they do things that okay, look at the Xbox and PlayStation. What have they done? They've done graphical enhancements for everything. That's all they do is they work on empowering their systems to be closer to PCs and just making them more powerful consoles. Nintendo does crazy stuff with their consoles. Yeah, the Switch isn't the most powerful thing, but
You're
it's
talking
a handheld
about consoles,
hybrid.
not games, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Sure,
but that
Switch.
stems into the
Cool.
games.
Yeah,
That's
He's,
why
that
talking,
was-
he's talking about the evolution of the systems.
that stems into the game. That's why their games aren't the best looking games, because the innovation that they do with their consoles and their company as a whole is focused more on different gameplay experiences than the actual fidelity of a game.
Sure, I know, but that's a choice they make.
Yeah.
I'm saying that keeps them from getting where they can get sometimes. If they wanted to put buku money into things, they could make the Switch look really freaking good.
Yeah.
If they
Right.
wanted to.
The fact that it's limited to
I'm
like,
not
what?
saying that'll be super cost effective or whatever.
900p?
They'd have to bump up their price a bit. But,
I
you know,
I agree, but you can say you can.
and battery life would be crazy for that then.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have to play at a higher
You would have
level.
to definitely
It'd be
make
terrible.
the.
I say you can
the
make the
Switch
exact
thicker.
same. You can make the exact same argument for Xbox or PlayStation.
Xbox or PlayStation, what I'm saying is though, and I'm not, graphics are everything, guy. That's not me. You know this.
Yeah, I agree. Gameplay is more.
But they change with the times. They level up.
Yeah.
yeah,
And what I'm saying, I'm not even talking about genres. I'm not talking about games like that. I'm talking about
overall,
that kind of staying with the times. That's not their focus. That's what I'm saying.
If I remember
They
wanna
correctly,
stay to one time period,
someone at
almost.
Nintendo said that the Switch is only halfway through its life cycle, and it's
Yeah.
been out a long time already.
how long has it been out? Since 12?
2017.
Oh wow, I'm
It's
way
been
off.
out for
Okay.
5 years.
Well, that's what
though.
they do though. They
milk it for all
ring
it's
it
worth.
ring
yeah.
it through.
Yeah, but if
which
it's
is
already
good
been out
business.
for 5 years and they're gonna,
And they can do that because Nintendo has the fan base that loves it.
yeah,
Like it works. That's a perfect business model for them.
oh yeah,
You're
'cause
just
they don't have to
saying,
innovate.
I want more.
yeah.
You know?
But they're not worried about what.
No,
what,
they
what
don't
consumers
care.
want.
Yeah,
It's a
I know.
cultural thing.
I-
too.
Going back to the main
It's a
thing,
cultural
they
thing.
don't innovate. That's why it's they.
It
milked
depends on
us out for 10
what you're
years.
saying. Innovation.
I highly
Sure,
disagree with
yes,
that,
they
but-
innovate in Logan's sense. What he's saying, the console and everything, gaming experience. In Jordan's sense of innovation, they do not innovate because they don't. That's not their focus. Like Microsoft or Sony, sticking with super high quality gameplay, graphics, and just how smooth the gameplay is.
They keep
how
raising
it
the
looks.
bar.
They raise the
Nintendo
bar every
keeps it.
year.
Yeah.
They try to.
But they
That's
don't.
not the focus of Nintendo.
Yeah.
They don't really care about that, which is fine. It's just me personally as a fan would like more
Yeah.
because they have such cool stuff
Yeah.
that it
What-
could just be crazy,
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that no matter what Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation does, they're gonna?
So weird.
Dogs
Someone's dying outside.
yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
dogs are barking.
All I hear is.
That's bandit. That's bandit barking.
But would it be fair to say that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, no matter they're gonna please some audiences,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
they're gonna
they do everything
they're gonna
perfectly.
piss off others. And
If
and
there's
sometimes
one who does it well with just knowing their audience, is
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Microsoft
how is
a dumpster fire.
so when it
for
comes
fans.
when it comes to Nintendo, how good is the content? Which is
That's
still
purely-
on a general.
That's purely
Subjective.
Subjective.
Okay.
Dan and me disagree on a lot of things about that, and I would say, the complete opposite probably what Dan is saying in some way,
that's fine.
which is fine. But yeah, I think that comes down.
That's
to just
purely
opinion.
subjective.
Yeah, purely opinion.
Nintendo
But
knows their audience. They have the same audience who, I don't want to say doesn't hold them to a certain standard, but doesn't always ask,
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
amount, which is fine. They love what they love,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they do it well.
yeah,
Microsoft is, that's a dumpster fire if you've ever seen one.
Although, okay, so Microsoft though, I actually have been liking what they've been doing a lot recently.
Like
and I know
What?
yeah.
What have
they
they
bought,
been doing?
They bought
What?
Bethesda.
No,
They
yeah.
bought
No, they-
Bethesda.
They bought studios.
just because I mean,
Well,
with the way that they're
Activision.
implementing things because I'm a PC guy. With the way they're
Sure.
implementing things with PC,
Well, they own PC, yeah.
with Game Pass and the way that all their games are coming out to that, and then you get the fact that they're getting all these new developers, the studios that they're buying, and they're getting these IPs that they're going to be able to work with and make their own things. And they were even talking about bringing back Guitar Hero. Like, for the love of God, I love Guitar
Oh,
Hero.
I
and Rock Band.
absolutely love Guitar
They-
Hero.
Phil Spencer has said that there's a lot of IPs from Activision that we want to bring back. He like was listing off, and he said Guitar Hero was one of those. And I'm like, if they bring back Guitar Hero, dude, I'm sold. Like, I'm sorry, but that.
Yeah, they tried to, and it didn't work.
Well, that's because they
Rhythm game's gonna
screwed
die.
that up, dude. I love Rock
And
Band.
I don't know
though.
why my phone just freaking. I hate this phone.
I think kind of getting back, bringing it
I'm
back.
looking off.
Direct.
I'm looking off your
the
phone.
Nintendo
That's okay.
Direct.
Yes.
Just some things that we haven't talked about that
I'm
were
pissed.
shown.
Just
Or
ignore it.
it started off with Fire
Say
Emblem
one step.
Warriors. I'm
Don't please.
not personally. I'm not a huge Fire Emblem guy,
It's a reskin of
but it's
all the other Warriors games.
yeah. But it's cool to see. It's in the same. It's kind of like the same thing they did with like Age of Calamity. Like it's in that same universe, and so it's going to continue the Three Houses story, which I've heard is a good game. So
Play it.
I'm excited.
That's
Yeah, I want to
the
play that one.
one
I just haven't got around to it.
thing that made me get a Switch, to be
Yeah.
honest. So
Yeah,
play it.
so that looks cool. Kirby looks awesome. I think it's something the Kirby franchise really needs is this jump to 3D. I'm just really surprised it took this long, but I think it's gonna be cool.
It's Nintendo. They take their time.
It gives me very like Mario Galaxy vibes, Mario 3D World vibes, like just kind of more open world level design, but it's still linear levels. I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, Mario Super Strikers or what is it? Strikers Battle League? Yeah. That looks awesome. I'm super excited for that. I think I don't know. I think that's a sports franchise that is going to do really well on the Switch. I think it's one that people wanted for a while. I really love the original on the GameCube. The Wii one I've been playing that a little bit with Trevor, and I'm not a huge fan of that one so far. I think it's overly hard and it's a little bit too gimmicky in some ways, but I mean it's a Wii game, so it makes sense.
I think this one's going to be just as gimmicky.
No, I think this one's gonna.
It looks pretty gimmicky.
This one looks more closer to the original.
Sure.
Like their ultimate moves only give you 2 shots. Like in the Wii, like the whole thing of the Wii is you shoot the ball and like do your ultimate shot or whatever. I can't remember what they're called, but like you do it and you have to. If you're playing another person, they'd have to like point the Wii remote and like block the balls, and they have like up to 6 shots. So you like literally get 6 goals in one, and it kind of got super ridiculous. Especially towards the end when you're doing like the final like tournament and stuff. But this one looks like it's more grounded like the original, and obviously you can't go be super grounded with a game like this, but like it's the highest you can get is 2 points in one, and it's the harder shot to get. So that looks super awesome. Super pumped for that. I'm really down for this whole thing of a new sports game coming out each June, because like last June we got Golf. I haven't played that one yet, but I want to. And then
What's it called?
Mario Golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
This
I,
is just the
I'm
Switch
more-
sports
okay,
stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
and
more
then,
simulation on the PlayStation.
No,
so,
and then
yeah.
It's all
and then
about
the
volleyball,
previous
boy.
year was tennis was the previous year before that.
There was a Mario Tennis
that was
that came
that,
out?
no, that was
I-
that was a phenomenal game.
No,
I love that.
I that's the one
I
I,
didn't
have.
even
I
know
love
that.
that game.
Me and Sarah used to play that.
What?
We'll
So
have-
bowling, badminton, volleyball.
Well, see now they'd have to go. Well, I think next year if they continue doing this, it'd be Sluggers, because they have that series already.
Dude, I want Mario Baseball so bad.
Um,
I want that so bad.
and so that would probably be next because they have done that before. And then if they keep doing it past that, then it's gonna have to be new things because they.
I looked this up one time, not too long ago. It was like a couple months ago. I looked it up. The last Mario Baseball game was on the GameCube. They haven't had one since then. Also,
Yeah.
can you grab Chris's phone charger from the wall? It's plugged in over there,
My phone is having
just
issues.
around the corner.
It's
Just,
like,
if you can grab it.
it's like 20 years old at this point. I was
It's
I was 2 years old when I got this phone.
Oh, really? That's pretty impressive, dude.
But trying to think of other things that really stuck out to me. Oh, that Alive game, I think that's how you say it. That looks kind of interesting. Where it's like I like that whole 2D HD or HD 2D look that they've done, and it's an unreleased remake of a game that never came to the States, and it's like this. The idea of it's really interesting, where it's kind of like Octopath, where you beat like different characters, but it's like
different
throughout
stories,
time.
yeah.
Like you can do the prehistoric one, and then you go all the way to like super futuristic like space travel stuff. I think that's really cool, and I'm kind of interested in that game. Other than that, Triangle Strategy.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Chrono series guy. I've not played those. I've heard amazing things about them. I want to play Chrono Trigger at some point. But Chrono Cross, I know a lot of people like, and it looks really cool. It gives me very like PS1 JRPG vibes, like
That's what it was.
which is
pretty much.
what it is. But it feels a lot like the Final Fantasy VIII, like I would play.
Kinda, yeah.
So
You have a lot of apps.
We need to play that again.
we need to play that again.
This weekend.
What else? Oh, Triangle Strategies. That looks pretty cool. It's kind of in the same vein as Octopath, but it's instead of your traditional JRPG, it's a strategy-based game. Might pick that up. And then what? Oh, yeah. I'll go ahead and get to it. Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, or Mother 1 is what I call it, on Switch, which I'm super pumped about. Those are games that need to get more attention. I think the Earthbound series is severely, underutilized by Nintendo, for actually notable reasons. It's really hard to get licensing for those games because of some of the choices they made in the creation of it. But I think, and this is a theory, but I think we might finally get a release of Mother 3 at some point. It's definitely a big hope, but I think they're setting it up to be that way because they gave us 1 and 2, and I think if we once we get to the point where GBA is on this online service, which
Dude, I cannot wait.
100% guarantee that will happen at some point.
I want to replay Emerald on the big
They'll
TV.
take their time though. It'll
But
be a while.
it's gonna be a
it's
while,
gonna
but
be
I
a
think it's gonna happen, and I think when it does, we might finally get Mother 3 because it's been a meme for years. Like, and they know it. They know we want Mother 3 because Reggie's made comments about it several times when he was working for Nintendo, and so I really hope that's the case. But I know the reasons why that the game has not came out yet, and it makes sense. So excited for that. I've been playing Mother 1 on and off, and then ended with Xenoblade 3. That was another big one they showed.
Yeah.
Xenoblade, I'm not super into it. I have 1 and 2, and I'm not beating either one, but I played a good bit of both of them. I would like to go back and finish both of them at some point before 3 comes out. But they're really cool franchises. They're like really massive open world RPGs that there's a lot to do, and really cool like world building and lore surrounded by. I like the voice acting's kind of cool. Like it's just a bunch of British voice actors, which is something you don't see a ton. And yeah, this one, from what Nintendo like describes it on their page, it's like a bridge between the two. Like it's, and I thought that as I watched the trailer because like I haven't beat them, but I've played enough to understand. And it's like there's aspects of both worlds from 1 and 2 in it. And like the main character's sword he wields looks like a cross between the Monado and then or like the Aegis from 2. And so I'm really interested to see that, and see like how that builds the world more.
Interesting.
Just a heads up, it's been 30 minutes on this.
But,
It's been 28 minutes.
Yeah, it's been 28 minutes.
Okay, 28, 30, same thing, right?
Sure.
I don't
We can
think
move
so.
on.
I don't
Yeah, we
think
can-
so.
But
So
other than that-
Nintendo Direct, lots of stuff
Yeah.
coming.
So I'm excited. And we didn't even get to Wii Sports, or Switch Sports, but it's whatever.
It's sports.
I think it
Even
should.
though
It's gonna be
volleyball is pretty
fun.
Awesome.
I think it should be free, but that's just me. But
It should be free.
It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna get it.
It
I'm
should
excited
be,
for that.
Should
But
move down the line.
yeah,
move on then.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually a topic I've had written down for a little bit, and I just genuinely want to know, what do you guys wish you could go back and relive for the first time? Like whether it was something that happened, like maybe it's not even something that you had an experience of to start with, but like something that happened in the past. Like just what do you wish you were either alive for, or what do you wish you could either go back and experience?
That's a heavy question, man.
Because there's a lot like historical stuff that you could go back and you could be
that's
like,
what
I
I
wish I
want
was
to.
there to witness this. I wish I was there to witness this. I wish I was there to, or like I wish I could go back and relive this experience. Like for Logan, for instance, he's a huge Star Wars fan. Maybe one of his answers would be, I wish I was like, able to understand what was going on for Star Wars Episode 3 when I saw it in theaters or something. Like,
No, I remember that one.
okay,
So
well, you get what I'm saying though.
So here's the question, though. So what's no seriously, like, so like it's not like I wish I could go back in that time period, but I kind of wish I grew up in the same time period as Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and be like one of the first ones to experience the biggest plot twist of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
The,
I mean,
the
just
experience
to,
of that
just
in the
to,
theater.
just imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, I always grew up knowing that spoiler alert from the last like 50 something years.
It's not even
I know. I just if you don't know, then you
That's
don't.
pop
Then you
culture common knowledge.
then you don't know. Like
No,
if I could be
am your
alive at that time period to know that Luke Skywalker
Is
is Vader's son.
Anakin said, yeah.
And be the first, and be like one of the first ones, be one of the first ones to understand that. Sorry, am I not talking to
I
them?
know
you're
how
good.
sensitive these mics are, and if you even turn your head like this, it's not going to pick you up too well.
I mean, just being one of the first ones to experience that,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
and like have the exact same mindset that they had in the
Yeah.
back then.
Well,
I'd just be like,
I love
freaking
the
out.
I love
mean,
the
that'd be
Family
amazing.
Guy. The Family Guy skit with that. When Peter walks out of the theater, he's walking out. He goes, "I could not believe that Darth Vader was Luke's dad." As like all these people are lined up to see that movie, and all these
Just
people,
ruined
he ruined it for all the people. He's walking out with a group of people from the theater. He goes, "Can you believe that Darth Vader was Luke's father?" And all these people that are lined up to go see the showing heard him say that. It's like this huge spoiler.
Oh my goodness.
That's one of my favorite, these little tidbits. That'd be a great one though, just to
That'd be cool.
go experience that in the theater
Yeah, I saw.
and be there with people that experience that with you for the first time would be incredible.
Yeah, I saw.
I mean, just a
recently,
mass
like
gasp.
this.
Yeah.
There's like this YouTube. I don't know if it's still going, but like where this girl, like this young girl's watching movies and kind of watching like older stuff and learning about it, and she like was watching Star Wars for the first time, and she'd not ever heard the spoiler of it, and they like showed her reaction, like they filmed it to that scene, and it was
Oh,
like
I've seen
genuine.
that.
And
Yeah.
it was like awesome.
It's
Like
a
she-
genuine,
it's a genuine reaction. Like she didn't know at all, and she was like, "What the heck?" Like it was crazy. Like her mind was blown, and it was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, I have seen that video actually. That was really cool. That is definitely one of those moments though, and then like with episode 3, you know, I brought that up for example for Logan, but like what year did that come out?
2006,
6 or 8.
I think, because that sounds right.
Okay, so like if it's 2006 and I was like 12 years old, you know, like I wish I could
I was, like,
experience
7.
that now because that's my favorite Star Wars movie. Like even today.
2005.
Okay, so I was
probably have to agree.
so I was 11 when that came out. So I'm sitting there thinking like I would love, you know, not to have that child mindset in the theater
To
and,
fully appreciate
and
it.
go back and just see that for the first time and like the battle at the end between Anakin and Obi-Wan, like being able to see that as an adult in the theater for the
Just
first
wait,
time.
we're about to.
And I
Kenobi.
I'm just
Kenobi.
like
Literally,
I
Kenobi.
so wish, you know, that's one of those
New
things.
series, Kenobi.
Yeah, Kenobi's gonna
Coming out in May?
redo, like they're gonna have a
They're gonna have
rematch,
another
Vader
fight,
and
Vader
Obi-Wan.
and Obi-Wan.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
You're joking, right?
No, 100%. Like
When?
it's
In
Comes
May.
out in, is it May?
I
Yeah,
think
May
it's
24th.
TV show.
May
Yeah.
24th.
I gotta see
Just
it.
like
It's
the
Disney Plus.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I gotta
and
see
Boba
it.
Fett.
Yeah, it's May
No,
24th.
that I'm into. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to
so
interrupt you.
yeah, no, I'm excited for that. But I'm trying to think of one for me that I can think of.
Like, and then just for example, what you're thinking, like another one. I honestly wish I could go back and play just the beginning of The Last of Us with no knowledge of what, like, just that whole story in general. But like the first like 10, 15 minutes of that.
You just want to watch the open cinematic.
See,
That's it.
I'm playing it. Stop. Don't just.
Have you not played that game?
I'm not the whole thing.
So you played the beginning though, right?
The very beginning, yeah.
Yeah, like you know how emotional the beginning of that is.
Yes.
You
when-
don't play
when-
that, you just
when-
watch that.
When
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
that,
can,
that no, that,
that
was
game's
hard.
been out for years.
When
You
the
can-
daughter dies,
Yeah, you can.
I didn't want to ruin it. I mean, I don't know how many gamers we got out there. I mean, obviously most. of
it's
these guys
been around
probably
for a
are,
while.
It's
so.
been a
It's
I
been
know, I
out
still
long
haven't
enough.
There's a
now
certain
where-
there's a certain just rule that like
I'd say after 2 years.
I would say a year. to
Less
be
than
honest,
that.
But
yeah.
um,
But yes, it's been more
yeah.
than all
No,
of that.
that-
So
That was heartbreaking.
the second game has been passed for a while now.
Yeah, I actually haven't even touched the second
I
one.
mean, the game literally sets you up thinking
We
that,
won't get into
she's
that
gonna
one.
be like her, like he's gonna be.
It's gonna be her.
He's
Is it-
gonna be her guardian protector.
is Sarah? Is that her name?
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah's
Yeah.
his daughter's name, and then Ellie.
I always
who
know
he-
she's gonna die.
Is the one who he meets up
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things though where I was like that, you know, just one of those things was like that's just super emotional. And then I know Dan's gonna be like, oh, of course, but like when you play Skyrim and you walk out and you see the mountains with, you know, okay, don't roll your eyes. I can have interests and opinions, Logan.
You don't like Skyrim?
If anything, you gotta say Oblivion coming out of the sewer.
Well,
That's
I mean, you
better.
got that.
That's
you,
better.
No, that is great too. That's great too. But like when you look out, because with Oblivion, there's a hill when you come out of the sewer. There's a hill across the river that kind of blocks your vision. With Skyrim, when you come out of that cave and you can look out and you see, you know, the ruins on the mountains and you see
that didn't
everything.
hit me
and it's
as much as Oblivion did.
see, I think that's
Honestly.
just so cool when you can look out and be like, I can go there. And then one of the first missions is when they actually send you there to get the tablet, which I think is so cool. That's one of those things too where I wish I just had like no memory of, and playing it for the first time would be incredible. Like I don't know, I love it.
I would say that with Morrowind, because that was one of the
When you get off the ship?
most just the game in general, as one of the most ridiculously awesome gaming experiences ever at that time period.
Yeah.
So playing that again would be sick.
I gotta finish that game.
You barely started. I remember.
Damn,
gotta
fuck
finish
it.
a lot of
Really,
games.
I want to give one more. After you're done.
There's lots of those would just be gaming experiences, playing the thing for the first time again.
Yeah.
Bioshock, the first one, that was a freaking crazy experience.
There's 3, right?
Yes.
Bioshock
Yeah.
1, 2, and Infinite.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're working on 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
are
is
they?
hype.
Yeah.
I actually did not know
Yep,
that.
they are.
Very cool.
It's supposed to be another Rapture-like city called Borealis, which is in Antarctica or the Arctic or something.
That makes sense for the North Pole.
Yeah, that one. It's
Okay.
North Pole, the Arctic.
Okay. Because
Sorry.
I was
Not
saying like
Antarctica.
Northern Lights, the
Arctic,
you know,
yeah, Borealis.
Aurora
yeah.
Borealis.
I think
but,
that's what it's called. But
okay.
moving on. Just I'm experiencing Halo again for the first time.
Oh, that'd be a great one too.
That's freaking awesome.
Dude,
That
there's
was
so many
extremely
things.
innovative.
That put shooters on the map.
Yeah.
Experiencing Halo multiplayer for the first time again. Wow, that'd be awesome. But
Dude, I actually miss the days of like Halo 3 multiplayer lobbies and Call of Duty 4 and modern day kids would not
That's-
survive
that was the peak of,
Xbox
of
game
shooters.
chat.
That was the
Oh,
peak
but
of shooters.
if you think it's brutal now,
Dude, like 2007, 2008 Xbox 360 online
There was
game
no
chat.
censorship or anything.
No, it was the worst of the worst, but that toughened up a lot of kids.
well,
Did it though?
so,
think it made a lot of
socially,
I don't think
maybe.
so.
I think
It taught a lot of kids on what they're able to do, maybe. But
I don't know. I thought
Internet
that-
keyboard
Yeah.
warriors. That's it.
yeah,
God, keyboard warriors are the worst.
But
and that's where they grew up from.
yeah. I'd argue that it's still kind of rampant today, though.
it is. It's bad.
Working in an elementary school and knowing how much these kids play Fortnite, and knowing what they know in 4th grade, which they should not know in 4th grade, because
Probably
they,
some things that people shouldn't even know as adults.
yeah, because they play Fortnite so much and hear so much and see a lot.
That's
like
the internet
that's
generation,
just
digital
internet.
generation.
So like,
it really is.
I don't think that it's definitely changed like Call of
It's
Duty
so
and
much
stuff.
easier to
but
do
it's-
that, to
yeah.
hear that stuff now. Like,
Yeah.
you could only hear that on Xbox Live.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
yeah, but I
And
think
it still got
yeah.
nasty.
yeah.
And now it's everywhere.
Yeah, now it's
It's
everywhere.
just-
So
it's
I
just
think
readily
it's
available
not.
everywhere now.
Yeah, it's not gone away. It's just evolved. It's become something different and just more broad. But I think when I look back to games I want to experience again for the first time, I think of like honestly Final Fantasy VII. Like
Any
Isn't the one you
any of
just
the really
played?
good Final
yeah,
Fantasy
just like
games,
couple
man.
couple years ago.
8.
Yeah, like that was.
The Mass
know.
Effect series for me would be freaking awesome.
I still need to play those,
I started
Dude,
Mass
you
Effect at one
so
point. I
need
wasn't
to.
but
a huge fan, I guess, when I first
You
started.
just gotta
it.
finish it, dude.
um,
And then you play the next one, and they all change a little bit, and they just get better.
Is Andromeda as bad as
Yeah.
people say? Okay.
Yeah.
So just play 1 and 2 and then skip that one entirely?
No, there's 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, 1, 2,
Andromeda's
and
the
3.
fourth one,
Okay.
Which they're making a 5 now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Which is they're bringing it back.
yeah.
But
Interesting.
hopefully,
Okay.
we'll see.
But-
Lots of hope there. But definitely play. Totally worthwhile. One of the best game series ever. So
Is this like this question gaming only kind of?
No,
No,
it,
you
it,
can-
it
no,
can be
he
movies
said
or
movies. It's literally
Okay.
anything.
we're just bringing up.
So-
I'm just bringing up.
Okay, I'll
experiences
bring
that
up
I
two.
would love.
One's a game and one's like a kind of a personal thing. I won't get too deep, but
as deep as you want.
The gaming one was experiencing the God of War 4 game for the first time, you got to remember, I grew up with God of War. I mean, I snuck it into my house when my parents told me not to. I played through all these games. Got grounded a couple of times.
For playing a rated M game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was that and GTA.
They were bad.
And GTA, but no, man.
At that time, they were bad.
So, like,
There's some serious stuff in there.
I knew the character of Kratos. I mean, like, this was kind of my childhood for gaming. This was, like, my mass thing for gaming. And so, going into this, you know, spoilers, you already know. They bring back the Blades of Chaos.
Boy.
And I like right when
Christopher Judge, love that guy.
Oh, that dude's voice is like gold. Like, just seeing the Blades of Chaos come back since the first game that ever came out, I like started tearing up by myself. Yeah. And like I was still living with my parents when this game first came out. I was tearing up like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then seeing the end, again, spoiler alert, seeing that Kratos' son Atreus is Loki.
Yeah.
In that mythology, I was just like, no freaking way.
Mm-hmm. So where's Thor?
He shows up.
He shows up at the very end as an end credit, end scene credit, whatever. And then the second thing I was going to talk about was there was one moment. It's going a little more personal. I apologize.
It's all right.
So like my very, very last match at high school, after I was done, I lost. I was done with high school. You know, high school wrestling. I mean, this has been a part of my life for wrestling's been a part of my life for 10 years. And I had no intention of going into college wrestling, which eventually I did. I went up to my parents, and like, I mean, I was crying. Like it was an emotional.
Oh yeah.
It was very emotional because this is 10 plus years of they were investing in me. They brought me to all the tournaments they wanted me to, assuming my grades were good. They brought me to every single practice. They went to every single meet, no matter how far away it was, whether it was in Minnesota or like far south Iowa.
Yeah.
And then even my Uncle Chris, who lives in California, and a few other family members came.
You have an Uncle Chris too?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
My Uncle Chris, all the way from California, said if you ever make state, I'll fly you up. And like, I mean, it was one of the most emotional experiences I'll ever have. I mean, like that was just like I want to relive that and just have the exact same emotions because that was a beautiful moment. Just knowing that my family was there and like I mean I was heartbroken from having that like. And my mindset at that time was like that was my last wrestling match ever. Not knowing I'd go into college. And like it was a beautiful moment, and I wish I want to relive that. Maybe not relive it, but just watch it again and just see that like man, my parents.
I play football again.
My parents, were always there no matter what.
Basketball. I remember kind of on top of your thing, like the whole for me basketball was that, and like I still distinctly remember my last game. Like I got put in, you know, the last few seconds he put all the seniors in. And I was like already crying off the bench. I was just a wreck. And I remember one of my teammates came and just like handed me the ball because he saw I was like balling because I was like sad. And I just like threw it up there, like just shot a three and it went in. And I'm like crying still while I was like this 3 went into the hoop. And I literally was just like that. I was like balling and I just chucked the 3 up there and it went in.
He was balling and balling.
Yeah.
He's balling and balling.
I didn't do that in football, but
it's emotional,
I
man.
I missed it.
Football, I definitely like looking back on it, feel the exact same way. But I think at the moment I was like, I'm tired of being hurt. Like I just am sore and I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Like this actually feels good to be done right now. But then like now looking back on it, like I obviously think I'd like to experience that again.
Oh yeah, because I mean football in high school was, you know, my last game was winning state. Like that was my last high school football experience, and that was so fun.
Wow, that would be
like my senior year. We won state. We were state champs that year, and so like that was super cool.
Where'd you go to high school at?
Here. Spirit Lake.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we ended up winning that last game. I'm like, that was just such a cool feeling, knowing that like, you know, your last ever game, you're the best in the state in your division or whatever.
Peyton Manning over here.
And it's such a cool feeling though. Like, and then the bus ride back though, when you realize that it's like over. You know,
it doesn't hit you like in the moment, but after a while, it just kind of like the emotions and everything hits you.
Yeah, you're like, holy crap, like it's done. You know, it's like all that work, like for all the, because I mean, it was since 3rd grade. I was playing tackle football since 3rd grade all the way till I graduated. You know, and so you're like, all this work since elementary school is now done, and it was just so cool. It was so cool though, and that's, dude, I was actually okay. So just knowing that feeling from high school, right? I
Yeah.
was so mad at that reporter last night after the Super Bowl when she asked that guy, so are you going to retire now that you won the Super Bowl? I'm like, just let the guy enjoy it.
Stupidest
That was the
question.
dumbest question.
agree.
Like, there's a lot of rumors that if you won, you were going to retire. So is this the last game you're ever going to play for the NFL? Just let the guy enjoy the moment and then
Honestly,
let him
in
make
what,
it later.
In what world does she think that he's actually going to answer that question?
Dude,
right then and
I
there?
heard that question and I was like, are you kidding me? That is the most
I was
ridiculous.
too emotional
over the
last
top.
night to really see that question, but I mean, like, just hearing that, that's the
Yeah.
stupidest. I mean, they said the same thing, like I just told you, to Peyton Manning, and they said the last year to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Why would you ask that in that moment?
Because
wait for
it's
the.
their job.
I know
It's
that's their
stupid.
job and all that stuff, but it's.
They're
I mean,
required.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
they would not have a job if they didn't ask.
It doesn't require. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's a stupid question in
It's
the
a
moment.
very stupid question. Like, ask him the next day, ask him 2 days later, ask him even, 2 or 3 hours later. But don't ask him as he's still
Or just
on the
let
field
them
with the
announce
confetti
it when they
falling.
announce it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but I
just
will.
like Tom Brady did.
It's one of those things, like, just knowing that...
Well, Tom
that
Brady didn't really announce his, but
Did he?
no,
no,
he-
it leaked,
It got leaked.
Dude,
and then he got ticked.
Yeah, I want him to come back just to be like, no, you know what? I announced my
I don't.
retirement.
I'm
I
tired.
do. I love
I'm
Tom
tired-
Brady.
I'm tired of seeing it.
One more
Yeah,
year,
just-
stomps on the Falcons.
That would be great.
No, I'm not even. I'm over that. Like, because in reality, like I gotta give credit to him. Like he did a great job coming
Yeah.
back from that.
That was
But like,
one of the
I'm
best
just
games ever.
honestly, I'm just
Honestly.
tired of hearing about Tom Brady. Like,
We know.
he's the goat.
I would
We
have to
know.
agree as an
Okay.
NFL fan.
He is.
He's never stomped on me like personally. I mean, like he's beaten us a few times, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he's
like,
never
he-
personally stomped on me either.
he's
I've never
never
met the man.
He's
so-
never stomped on Christian Nichols
on
for
on,
sure.
on the Cincinnati Bengals. But like what you're going through, I had to feel for you because
Well-
that would be that. I mean, that's a Super Bowl you should have won.
Well, no,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but I'm over that. Like, that's overdone with.
No,
like,
you're
I don't
not.
have.
No,
No, I
you're
seriously
not.
am. Like, I don't hold any animosity towards.
You just
Tom
said
Brady
you don't
or
like
all.
Tom Brady. You want him gone because of
No,
the,
I'm
because
just. I'm tired of it. Like, there's just it's always Tom Brady talk now. Like,
I would agree.
and like
yeah.
it's literally like and like he's
The
become
thing
so.
is about that, it's not even from like Tom Brady fans. It's from all the haters that
Yeah.
don't let it go.
It's all the people that don't
That's
like
where
him.
the talk comes from.
Yeah, but regardless,
I wouldn't
like,
even bring Tom Brady up if people is like, oh gosh, I hate that guy. He's such a cheater. I hate him, a loser. He's not even that good. And I'm like, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he's
And
he's
then
amazing.
it just escalates. from
Speaking
there.
of like people retiring and stuff, did you happen to hear? I didn't hear about this until a couple days ago, and this is kind of off topic, but how Gronk got out of going to Detroit.
yeah.
Did you hear about that?
He's actually talking about. He's actually talking
retired.
about
So
going to Cincinnati.
he got a phone call, and the phone call was straight up like, "Hey, you got traded to the Lions," and he goes, "Well, I don't know how you could trade me. I'm retired." And told them that, and then like the trade never got announced. 2 days later, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not retired anymore." He's like, "If I'm gonna go to Detroit, I'm done."
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame
you
him
don't want to
either.
go there.
I don't blame him either, but it was one of those
Especially
things
since
where
Stafford got out.
I was just like, that actually is a kind of a smart move, I guess. If you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna play anymore. Trade never goes through. That's off topic, but anything else that you guys just wish you could go back and relive?
I'm
then?
sure there's lots of stuff, but
I mean,
nothing
like,
I need to say anymore.
I mean, the only thought I had was like for him, like you were saying with football, you're just like, man, I'm glad the pain is over. First thing I did, I remember, I always give up Mountain Dew throughout the rest of the season. College and
Logan would
all,
die.
all 4 years of wrestling because I had to cut weight. I mean, I can't be drinking that stuff. And so, like, as soon as I was done, like, I was dating this one girl in high school. I won't say the name.
It was that bad, huh?
It was rough.
Moving on.
I was dating a girl, and like she took me up after an emotional moment there with my parents I just told you about, and I'm just like my dad gave me $20 and said get whatever you want. I bought a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. This thing was gone in like 30 seconds. So like
Yeah.
it was the most. I mean, you want to talk like that wasn't like the. What I just talked about before was an amazing memory. I'll never forget it. This was a moment. It's like, let's go. I mean, if I could have poured that all on my face and
It was
just
like-
drink as much as I could, I would. That was amazing.
You were like Buddy the Elf. You just like
Chugging.
Did you hear that?
I feel like we need to get a gif of Chris doing that.
Oh man, that was a great moment too.
Yeah, that. I can just, why can I imagine you just chugging a 2 liter of
I
Mountain
mean,
Dew?
I was only 125 pounds at that point. Or
Okay.
120 pounds at that point.
That's
actually,
how
in high
much
school.
Ranger weighs. Just a heads up. Like my dog weighs 100.
That's how much one of my
In
legs
high
weighs.
school, that's what I weighed. My senior year of high school, that's what I weighed.
Oh God. All right, so we can probably move on then to Chris's topic. So Chris,
All right, give me a second here.
you don't remember your own topic?
I mean, there was a few here I wanted to
Loot
get.
boxes.
I thought about. We want to go to the loot boxes thing. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that works.
So, should paid loot boxes in video games be banned? Okay, so disclaimer: if you do not know what a loot box is,
Good, stay away.
it's pretty much it's pretty much an in-game like
It's a box of loot.
box that you pay for, and it brings out like randomized objects, items
Yeah.
within the game.
Yeah, aesthetic items.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you usually pay real life money from your credit card to get it. And the reason why this is an issue is because you got to remember, like, there's little kids that play these games
Yeah.
with their parents' credit cards. And I mean, like,
is a-
there's no, I feel like there's no argument, from my perspective, there's no argument that this is blatantly illegal non-monetized gambling.
Well, it's definitely monetized.
No,
Let's-
monetized.
I don't think it's monetized at all. No, it's not.
Monetized?
Monetized means you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So they
Okay,
receive money for it.
They receive money, so they definitely it's definitely monetized.
What am I thinking? Uncensored. That's my bad.
Sure.
Okay.
Uncensored.
Uncensored, yeah.
Uncensored gaming.
Okay.
Or gambling.
Yeah.
Uncensored gambling.
Okay, that one's better. I'll say it's definitely monetized.
It
because
is.
there's money.
There was a
you're
huge
right.
controversy a few years back, right?
Yeah.
And some companies got in big trouble for it.
Well, like
Yeah.
with 2K with
Battlefront.
NBA,
Or
they had
yeah.
that.
Oh, that was just straight up a casino
yeah,
mode.
they had a casino mode, and they got
Yeah.
huge trouble for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a few different opinions on this. One, if it's purely like cosmetic items, it has no effect on gameplay. It's just how things look. I don't care as much.
I do.
What if
I do.
I don't care as
agree.
Means it's the same basis.
Well,
It's-
no,
it's
it
gambling.
it
It's the
is,
same
and
basis.
you're,
But it's
right
not,
about that.
But it's not as bad as in-game items that you can use within.
But
the game.
if you're an-
I see where he's going.
If you're an adult,
Pay
and-
to win crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're an adult and you have your own money and you decide to spend it on some skins or whatever, like fine, you do you. That's their choice to spend their money. Now, for kids, yes, it should not be a thing. Like you should not be, a 12-year-old kid with your mom's credit card.
You can't
Spend-
That's
you
up to the
can't see
parents.
who's
I
buying
know.
it though.
Well, I know, and that's the thing, right? Like if it was better controlled that way, sure, that's one thing. But
you can't control that though.
at the
the
same time, though,
ratings,
at the
you
same
can't be
time,
under
though,
this
like
age.
that's a parent's job to
Yeah,
make sure the
right.
kids aren't spending that much of
I
their
agree.
money.
Because we have lots
That-
of good parents, right?
Well, no, but that's also not the
My
company's
parents are
fault.
great, by the way. I'm just saying, this new generation.
That's not the company's fault though that parents are letting their kids do this. But then anyways,
They exploit it though. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Well-
They want money.
Yeah, they
no,
don't care
and
at all.
you get what I'm saying though.
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
it's not their responsibility to parent these kids.
No.
And so if it's purely cosmetic, it has no effect on gameplay, and it's just like a sparkly skin for your gun, whatever, I don't care, right? But as soon as you start doing things like in Madden and MLB The Show and 2K, and you have like these card modes or whatever, right? As soon as you get something like that, where a player that you get and like you spend thousands to try to get one player so you can win more games, that's why I think it crosses the line. If it's a pay to win, at that
I think
point.
it all crosses the line. Pay to win is obviously the worst.
Yeah.
But anything where
Absolutely.
you pay real money for a chance is wrong, I think.
Yeah.
If you want something like a loot box that is, still chance, but it's stuff you accrue by playing the game.
Yeah.
So you get credits or something by playing, 50 games or something. You get enough
Yeah.
for however many loot boxes. Fine, that's cool, great. But if it's literally, we can just buy this stuff.
Isn't that what a lot of them are though? Is that you get
No.
like a certain amount of like in-game
No.
They'll
currency
do
and
that
you-
just a little bit, and they'll make it ridiculously tedious to do anything, and they'll just say, "Oh, you want to just buy this stuff?
Yeah.
You can buy the in-game credits then."
I forget what game it was. There was one game. It was if I remember, it's a space game. Maybe someone in the comments will have to correct me if or what game it is or whatever. But there was like a special ship skin that you could get, right, if you paid for it, or you could get it by playing the game, but you had like a limited time of 3 weeks to do it. But the challenges that they had to actually unlock this for free, someone took the time to do it, and because of the ridiculous goals they set, it would take you like 8 years. And you had 3 weeks. So like if you didn't pay for it, you're not
Yeah,
getting
it's
it.
garbage.
So
That happens all the time.
so this is the argument that most gamers come up with, is the idea that let's just say like Call of Duty.
Okay.
One of the worst.
Actually, no. I'm actually gonna go back to like the most infamous game. You guys want to talk about
Infamous?
Star Wars
Battlefront 2?
Yeah, I was
Battlefront
actually
2.
about to bring that up because
So
That's what started the
let me
whole
finish.
thing.
So like, in order to unlock, so there's like regular characters, and then there's superheroes in this game.
Yeah.
yeah.
And to unlock these superheroes, I mean, it was 24 hours of gameplay.
Yep.
This is not including loading times. This is not. Sorry, I'm getting pissed.
I know,
about
just
this.
don't hit the table.
Yeah. So this is including loading times to get in the game. This is including loading time to turn on your console, like time in the menus, all this stuff.
Yep.
24 hours of actual you're in the game playing.
Yep.
And honestly, like, tell me the last time you actually played 24 hours straight of playing a video game. That takes like
Straight?
that takes like 2 or 3
And
days.
that's like for one character. Or it
Okay.
was.
for one character.
Mm-hmm.
And how many characters were in that thing?
Oh,
Many.
A ton.
yeah.
A freaking ton.
Yep.
And so this is what I'm saying is like these games they don't literally force you to buy these cosmetics, but they make it to the point where it's like either you're going to grind 3
It's
or 4
the only
months.
logical way at
Exactly.
that point.
You're either going to grind 3 or 4 months to get all the characters, which honestly as a gamer I love gaming, I don't want to do that. But it's either going to grind 3 or 4 months, or you can just buy these straight out right now with a chance of maybe getting them.
I'd rather have it be the
That's
grinding.
that's gambling.
I would rather have it be the grind.
That's because you have the time to do that. Though.
It is my like playing games for a long period of time is my job. I guess,
Grinding like 10 years ago is different than grinding now, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Grinding 10 years ago was worthwhile and it was awesome. Like, think of old school Call of Duties like MW2, MW3. That
Oh, with
series.
I would say
the weapon
Halo's. I would
skins.
say I hate Halo,
Yeah.
but Halo's the
Halo.
exact same thing.
Did you say
Like,
you hate Halo?
I don't like Halo that much.
Wow.
Terrible. Oh, we'll talk
Okay.
about that later. No, but all the stuff in that game was you could get it by doing things in the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was really freaking difficult. Sometimes it was really easy. Sometimes it was just took time. You had to level up and prestige a bunch of times, right?
It awards you.
That
Yeah.
was how it should be. That was the
I like
pinnacle
that.
I
of it.
totally agree.
Yep. I respect
You didn't
that.
buy
grind.
crap.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like it was just part of the game. But they realized, oh, we can just make money off this. It's never going to go back to that.
No, it
Because
never will.
microtransactions
It's
are all anyone cares about because that's
Yep.
money,
Yeah.
money
And
in the
it's
bank.
Very frustrating to say the least.
See, like even one of my favorite games, with Sea of Thieves, they have a store. It's called the Pirate Emporium, where you can buy like ship cosmetics and
Same thing.
outfits and stuff. It is like, but it's not randomized. Like you pick what you buy,
It's still.
and I'll admit
That's a better
I
option.
was about to say that.
Yeah.
It should
when,
be that.
when you buy it, you get it. Like
Yeah,
that,
like,
that's,
I
that's a
admit-
better. It's still stupid,
Yeah, it's still
but
great
it's
stuff.
better than the
Yeah.
chance thing. The
See,
chance thing needs to go bye bye.
Yeah, see, I will admit I don't like that system. It's not perfect, but I did also buy a boat off of
Honestly.
there because there was a Banjo Kazooie themed boat, and you guys know how I feel about Banjo Kazooie, and I adore it. Like when
Okay.
I'm a pirate going around with a Banjo Kazooie boat, like shoot, it's awesome. But anyways, it's one of those things. Like I do wish that they gave you an option to do it for free, which they kind of do because very, very rarely, and no pun intended with Rare making the game, very rarely there's these things called like ancient coin skeletons that pop up, and I've only seen like 2 in my hundreds of hours playing, right? Where if you kill it, then you get this currency that you will have that you can buy stuff with out of the Pirate Emporium, right? And they give you, if you buy the season pass, they'll give you those, and like enough to buy the next season pass, basically. But then you can also spend them if you don't want to buy that season pass. You can spend them in the Pirate Emporium and get stuff that way. I like when they give you ways to do it in game, like that. Even though it's kind of like, so if they have the microtransactions, because it's all cosmetic. There's nothing that's gonna help you win the game.
Yeah.
I don't mind it that way. I guess I don't like the model.
It's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but it's better than loot boxes.
I would
It's
agree.
better than the boxes that are just.
I would
randomized.
definitely agree.
Yeah, I agree.
What I will say is, there's one thing there's the kind of an elephant in the room we have not mentioned. It's called duplicates.
Usually though, you can just break those down, right? You break the duplicates down.
But
So-
it's not worth it though.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I like with Steam.
You could literally get the exact same thing 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many times, depending on what
I
game you're
remember
playing.
watching what was it? Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare when they had loot boxes were huge,
yeah.
Yeah.
But they had like really cool stuff in them, like the exosuits and stuff. I'd watch people just spend like
Thousands.
an hour crazy amounts of dollars just going through and they go for like 30 minutes and just get duplicates because they're looking for one thing that's like it's super rare that they haven't gotten.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it breaks down and gives you a little bit of credits or the in-game currency or whatever.
Yep.
And by the end of it, you have a lot of in-game currency, but it's not worth the money you freaking spent for it.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that either, though. Like, I will admit,
I mean, that's
it
the
is
reality
scummy.
of gaming, though. And I love gaming. I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
We're all gamers here. But I freaking hate it.
That's why you play story-driven content.
Yeah, that's what I
I've
do.
kind of gotten more into
The
that.
only thing you buy from that is DLC, which is more story-driven content.
Which
Don't they-
you know what you're getting.
So hold on, though. Don't some story games, and
Sure, you can
have
buy
like
cosmetic
different
and
like
stuff.
outfits and
Yeah,
stuff, which is the same thing. You know, as I was saying,
Yeah,
like
but
with Sea of
you
Thieves.
don't-
and
you
stuff.
Assassin's Creed.
You don't need to get that stuff though.
Yeah, you don't need to. It doesn't affect the game, but you can still have. There's still
Sure.
microtransactions,
Sure.
even in story-based games, just for outfits.
Yeah, but we don't need
I mean,
anything for those games. We just play them.
Like, doesn't
You'll be hard pressed to find a game that does not have microtransactions.
Oh, no, you're
and,
right.
And that's what pisses me
Nowadays,
off.
yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely right. It does drive me nuts. I mean, okay, so Nintendo doesn't have many, right?
No, theirs is all DLC mainly. Like,
Okay.
it's just add-ons to their stuff.
So that is one thing we'll give Nintendo credit for. Going back to the topic
It's not
earlier.
as bad as PlayStation. and-
No.
Oh no, like
Xbox.
Sony and Microsoft with that.
They don't
stuff
have
is terrible.
the huge multiplayer IPs.
They still have some.
Yeah.
I'm not going to excuse them completely.
They don't have like Call of Duty.
But they
and
still have some.
that
No,
kind of
Call of
stuff,
Duty is there's a reason I haven't played Call of Duty in
And
about 3 or 4 months.
It's a
because of
different
that crap.
mindset. Nintendo doesn't have the same greed mindset that
No, they don't at
Microsoft
all.
has.
Dude, it's bad. I mean, there's a
And
reason why with
Sony to a
Microsoft
certain
the
extent,
S is the
but
dollar
it's
sign.
really Microsoft.
You're right.
But that's a cultural thing too. So.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the day that people. It'll probably never happen, honestly. But like when people realize that the loot boxes for that randomized stuff is gambling, they're like, okay, you know what? We're not gonna do that. I know actually in some places it's banned now.
It was
it's
made
not-
illegal
it's-
in a few
I say
places.
it's
It
not,
is illegal, like in the EU and stuff, or in the UK. Like I think it
Something
is
like that,
illegal over there.
It's not as bad anymore, right? Like nowadays, it's more of
Because they've loopholes with battle passes. So
yeah,
yes,
Battle Pass.
exactly.
they've taken the
Yeah.
chance out of it, and added
still
other
have to
things
pay
that
for
were
it.
more,
Less than what you would want.
yeah, it's like you will get the stuff, but there's also more. You have to
Go through.
play the game and stuff, but also it's much more expensive.
But we agree though, like that's a better model than the gambling loot boxes.
I mean,
though.
yeah,
It's
because it's
I
not
mean-
based on pure chance.
I would rather like so. For instance, with Sea of Thieves, this is just the one I know the most, right? I spend it's $10 or $15 for their seasons, right? For the season pass, but I don't know. The way I see it is because I didn't have to pay for the game. I got it with Game Pass, so I like supporting that way. But then also, you know what you get. You know, if you don't like the rewards, you don't have to spend the $10 or $15, and it's only like every 5 months or
Yeah, but
whatever.
the
I-
thing with
here-
battle
so-
passes though
They should be
is
the
they're
game.
so long, and everything you really want's at the end,
Yep.
Yeah,
and you very well may not get there.
Yep.
So
You
they
gotta
give it to
grind
you,
a
and they're
lot.
like,
I say-
they give it to you, and if you're not like a student or someone who doesn't have a full-time job, you're probably not gonna get there.
yeah.
But they're like, okay, you bought this for like $25 probably, right? Is usually a battle pass, which that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, on top of the $60.
And then like,
game, that's
oh,
quite a bit.
but you're not gonna get this. So here, you want to buy some tiers for more money?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, see,
It's
Like,
extremely shady.
it's really freaky. It's stupid too.
Yeah, and
It
it
is.
also is like it's like going back to it's just be stuff in the game like it, especially like the kind of Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever, like those battle passes, they have the same like leveling system that they used to, where you unlock stuff when you level up, but now you have to pay for over half of it in like the good items, and it's like,
yeah.
really?
I mean, I won't lie. As a company who's trying to make money,
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I just I get
Yeah,
it, but
it's good
I
for
get
money.
it, but I hate it. Okay, so this is kind of where I think it should be. Free games can have paid monetization or not paid monetization, paid just
Microtransactions.
Yeah,
microtransactions, because they got to make money somehow. You know what I mean? That's understandable. You didn't pay for the game; it's free.
Yeah.
So
Understandable.
like the Fortnites and the War Zones and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
I can understand that to an extent. That being said, games that I had to pay $60 to $70
Yeah.
plus I had to pay an extra $20 per month,
Yep.
which
I agree.
is
You might not even get a finished game.
exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Well, actually, that's kind of how.
That's not right, and like that is not how
We've
what
talked about this
how
before.
that's not how most of us grew up with.
no.
No.
But
We-
at the same time, though.
we grew up with
Prime gaming time.
we grew up with if you're gonna get it, you're gonna earn it,
Yeah.
and that's how it should be.
Yep.
And it pisses me off.
But I feel like a lot of this, though, too, maybe stems from, like, the World of Warcraft stuff. Because, like that, you spend money on the game, then you have to buy the expansions, but then you also have to spend $15 a month just to play it, which I think is super scummy.
Do you pay for the game? I thought you
Yeah,
just
you-
buy
no,
the
you-
subscription.
I thought it
You
was-
pay
I
for
thought it
the
was
game.
free.
You pay for the game, and then you have to pay.
I don't know if that's how it is anymore.
Well, it used to be
Or-
that way.
I'm not sure.
I know
I'm
it
not a
used to be
WoW
you
guy,
got to pay
so
for the disc because this is like way back in the day. You had to pay for the disc or like because they would sell it at
It's not
Walmart.
this anymore. I don't
Well, it's
think.
not anymore, but it's the same concept. You have to
Sure.
pay for the game, and then you have to pay.
I think you just pay for
$15.
expansions.
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, you're paying for something, and then you still have to pay $15 a
You
month
got a membership
just to
for all
play
of it, and then when new expansions came out, you would pay for the expansion.
Which
No,
is
I
just
see. I
like
see what you're
30
getting at.
bucks.
I see what
I
you're
think.
getting at. It's like, why do you have to pay extra money
Yeah.
to get the full game?
Like if you're already
that's
spending
crazy.
$15
Well, I
a
feel
month,
like
But
when
you already
shouldn't
have the
to buy
full
the
game.
expansion.
Yeah,
It's
World of
extra.
Warcraft is
Or
different
it
because
is
it's
it
an
legit just
MMO.
extra? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's an MMO,
pure
so it's pure.
DLC.
It's completely
It just
building on itself.
continues and continues
So
and
I
continues.
guess I was talking more AAA games where
Yeah.
you pay $70 upfront,
Yeah.
and then you have to pay extra money to get. I mean, literally just a 3/4 finished game,
Yeah. No.
and
it's-
that's absolutely that's.
Yeah, we've talked
there-
about this way early in the show. Like
See, there's
it's
a reason
just
I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
Yep.
I haven't played it in so long.
It's
It's because it pisses
because-
me off.
these big, especially like American-made studios. These big conglomerations don't care about their creation anymore. They just care specifically about money, which there's always been about money, but still, you could have some pride in your work, and
I know.
people do not have that anymore, aside from like Japanese Sony and Nintendo, which they do have some pride in their work to an extent, like Western companies don't.
Yeah. Okay, so the new Shadowlands expansion from World of Warcraft is $40.
Yeah.
But then you also have to pay $12.99 a month just to play.
It's always been just Warcraft. You never paid for Warcraft. You paid for the
Expansions.
subscription to play for it, and then
Yeah.
it's just like more DLC comes out, like more game. You already have the normal game. It's just lots of extra and more.
See, I'm
So it's
confused here even
DLC.
looking at this because they have just WoW. It's WoW Plus, which includes access to some of the stuff for $30, and then you have the Burning Crusades Classic, which it might just be an older version of the game, I'm guessing.
They have
But that's
so many different
that's
versions,
$70, and so then you still have to pay though the $13 a month on top of it, which I don't like that model either.
I think it's
It's
because
different.
it's the MMO genre is
Yeah.
so different, and
Yeah,
it
but then
has
just
to
have
kinda
the
be
game
like-
and the expansions be free with the $15 a
But
month.
with how
Like,
MMOs run, they can't.
The
they
expansions are like whole
Yeah.
other
I,
games.
I know what they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
but if you're already
So
spending
you're-
that much, like that's people
not
have dumped
playing-
thousands into just playing that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are idiots.
Like that's not even including like the microtransactions
Gosh,
and other stuff like
Netflix.
cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's no
I
different.
canceled Netflix. Screw that.
Netflix, anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm done
It's
with
the same
Netflix.
thing.
All that. Yeah.
Just a subscription to a game. It's just how much you play it,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want more,
You have to pay
you
extra.
it's just like DLC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's not a huge
Yeah.
difference, but it's just to each their own if you like that or not.
See, I think
it's
we're all
worth
in
it.
agreement still. Loot boxes are no good.
Garbage.
No,
Terrible.
and we're starting to see things like Netflix and Hulu and all these other gaming movie platforms kind of leading into the exact same thing. Like you got to pay premium to get the TV subscription, the the brand new movie subscription, all this other stuff. and it's bleeding into other
Don't
aspects
want
of our
ads?
entertainment.
Give me money.
It's
Yep.
kind of like Disney Plus though too with the new movies. It's like, hey, you can, you pay however
You want
much a
this
month.
now? You can pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people they
like,
pay
no,
for
I
their
don't.
Disney Plus subscription, but then they also have to pay an extra like $20 or $30 just to watch the new release movie
Yeah.
on there.
So I
Instead of
just go
going
to it
theater.
in theaters where you
Yeah.
pay $5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess for a group of people, it'd make more sense to do the Disney.
That
Plus
was a
thing.
lot of that was played off of the pandemic. So
Yeah,
They
it definitely
totally
was.
just
They just took advantage of that.
took advantage of that. So
Yeah.
Speaking of the pandemic stuff, and this is kind of off topic too, but did you hear what
very
the CFO of Facebook said because they lost 26% of their value as a total company with their
Good.
stock, like they lost over 300 billion or something like that.
Good.
Just
Crash and burn.
well, the CFO in a public statement said something along the lines of like we lost money because there's no more COVID lockdowns, and like was basically saying we need to bring those back so we can get our money.
I'm sure they think that.
And I was like, that is
You lost
so,
it because you're a terrible company.
like that is so
and
scummy.
people are wisening up to you. So,
Yeah, like I just thought that was so scummy to just openly be like, oh yeah,
I mean,
we
Facebook, scum,
yeah.
same thing. Look at the definition. It's pretty,
Oh yeah, it's terrible, dude. Anyways, we should probably move on to the next
'cause
topic.
this
then,
next
'cause
was
This is gonna be a big one.
Yeah. So.
oh, I know what his topic is
Yes.
now. Yeah.
So during the Super Bowl yesterday, there was a teaser for. Are you all right there, bud?
Chris needs to go pee. He didn't want to say it.
We didn't have to say it out loud.
He
Okay?
didn't want to say it. He
You want
sent
to
me a
climb
text.
under there, bud?
He sent me a text.
I
and
literally
said, I
can't
have
move,
to pee,
so-
man.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
I didn't want to. I was trying to make it discreet, but
All right,
Jordan
guys.
wanted to shout it out.
Enjoy this. We're gonna make Chris crawl under the table.
Well, I mean, how else are we gonna get Chris out of here without people knowing he's gonna go pee?
Hey, I'm not as small as I used to be.
Guys, I mean, you had a bottle.
You're right. I should.
Please, not on my carpet. No.
But as he's urinating, we'll talk about. There was a teaser on the Super Bowl for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, which is
Yes.
coming out in May,
Yeah.
and it said go watch the full trailer online,
Which we did.
which we watched later on, and it's
Is that the one I
freaking
just watched?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the full
Okay.
trailer.
It is
Okay.
The teaser is
amazing.
different.
Okay.
They had different content in it, but it's crazy.
It is nuts.
Bombs were dropped.
It is madness.
We were dealing with the aftermath. We'll see where it goes. I'm very, very, very excited for this movie.
I am too. Yeah.
So, Sam Raimi's back directing. That's good for you guys who love the Tobey Maguire stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that one back there.
Yeah,
He's
we're
screaming, but which it's gonna be different though because it's going to more of his horror roots, which
Yeah.
he's done a lot of horror stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can definitely see that in the trailer.
Yeah.
I love it. Looks freaking crazy.
It's gonna be awesome.
It looks really good. But let's see. I mean, there's so much to talk about. I'm just gonna go directly to the biggest bomb, the nuke that dropped.
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed. We see
Hi, Chris. Welcome
barely
back.
on the side, and we hear Professor X from
Please
the X-Men.
don't grab my leg like that under the
Patrick
table.
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. Pumped for this.
Yes.
So, for those of you who do not know, the Illuminati is a secret group in Marvel Comics.
Okay, so
not
you're
the-
talking the Marvel
not the-
Illuminati,
not
not
the
the
meme
real
one. Yeah.
Not-
Well,
or the
both.
meme Illuminati.
Not the
No,
real one.
The
you
Marvel
know.
Illuminati
The
is
real one.
a bunch of
The
members
fake Marvel
that
They're gonna come after you.
I hope they do.
end up kind of
Sorry, man.
behind the scenes. You're good, dude. Behind the scenes, taking care of the Infinity Gems in Marvel. Each have one, and they make like big decisions behind the scenes to kind of protect everyone.
Yeah.
And it ends up being Iron Man is one, Doctor Strange is one, Professor X is one, Namor, the Submariner, the King of Atlantis,
Black Bolt.
Black Panther, and Black Bolt.
Yep.
And then someone here asked, "Is Black Widow's sister in it?"
No.
I have not seen her in it, so
Okay.
she was not in the trailer or
Okay.
teaser.
That's Sarah. Idiot.
But yeah, no.
How am I supposed to-
Having the Illuminati is super cool.
Oh,
I was
her.
I was really hoping they'd do that at some point, but
I
I
figured
thought
they would.
I thought it was going to take them a while because I thought they're going to have to introduce these characters into the MCU.
This is how they do it though, because
But yeah,
with No Way Home opening up the multiverse,
Mhm.
and then Loki doing some weird stuff too.
yeah,
And with Doctor Strange, it's just this is time to bring
Yeah.
everything together because they can. They have the opportunity.
yep,
Like I said to you earlier, like this is their specific spot where they can bridge the gap between the Fox cinematic universe and the Marvel MCU or the
Okay.
MCU.
So is it bridge the gap or is it our actors for our characters are getting old, so let's try to like make new versions of them and go
Well,
off.
they
with
brought back like the oldest character
Yeah.
from Fox, so no.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the main actors and stuff are getting old. So like, hey, you know what? We're going to make
you'll
this
phase out.
version of Iron Man now because like
Well, it's
No,
gonna he's gonna
Iron
be
Man.
older
So pretty
too.
much
No,
prequels.
they're phasing out
Prequels we were talking about.
characters. Obviously, like Tony Stark's Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. is gone, Chris Evans,
Yeah.
Captain America is gone, right?
For now.
And they will
For now,
continue
he
to
says.
phase out actors who aren't going to play the roles anymore. That's just how it works.
yeah.
But they keep introducing new
Yeah.
actors as
Did
new
you just
heroes.
do that again?
How you doing there, bud?
I'm sorry.
It's like your third time hitting that mic with that bottle.
Well, it's his third bottle, so.
That's true. He's had a few.
We did not need to mention that.
Oh, is your mom watching?
Well, I mean, you drank 2 of them right now.
Yeah. Those
There's
Yeah,
one
exactly.
more over
No, we just had 2. Just
Yeah.
2.
But it's going to get crazy.
Just staying down.
It looks like it's bridging chaos and magic and that kind of the Shang-Chi version of the fantastic magic as well. We see a little bits of that. So,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Wanda, Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
it's going to get crazy.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff that I'm excited to see. Like, and especially like the rumors that are out there. We'll see if they come to fruition. But like, there's rumors that Tom Cruise is gonna be another version of Iron Man,
A variant.
a variant of Iron Man,
Superior Iron Man.
Iron Man, who has like 3 of the Infinity Stones, and he's like, which is kind of what they're setting up with the whole.
That just seems weird to me.
So
having
yeah,
Tom
so
Cruise
could you
be Iron
explain
Man.
like the 3 Infinity Stones and like what? So
So
Different
they would
universe.
so my knowledge is after Stark, spoiler.
So-
After Stark, did his thing.
Yeah.
I figured all the Infinity Stones were
See,
gone at that
I'm
point.
gonna simplify it for you. It's a completely different
I'm not
universe.
that dumb. Come
No,
on,
no,
man.
I'm just
Just
saying,
like there's
No.
infinite amounts
Don't
of
even-
universes and
yeah.
characters, there's infinite amount of Infinity
each
Stones.
universe
Okay.
each universe has their Infinity Stones, and so the ones that this Tom Cruise Iron Man would have would be a
Potentially,
completely
yes.
different different universe. So those stones had nothing to do with the final battle of Endgame.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if he'll have the stones.
That's just what I've heard.
wouldn't make sense. It
I
wouldn't
want 'em-
matter to me
I want a movie now
because they're
since-
outside of. Just like they didn't work in the TVA, like this is a step above the TVA.
See, and that's something I'm interested in too, because like now that they've introduced the Illuminati as kind of this
I think-
multiverse thing,
I think this is a tribunal that is above.
the TVA,
Yeah, way
That's-
above.
that's cool.
I think
like that.
Kang. We found out the TVA was a bunch of BS anyway.
Yeah,
It was just Kang, and Kang was doing his own thing with this section of the universe.
yeah,
He really wasn't a supreme power or anything like a tribunal.
Yeah.
He made one, kind of a fake one,
yeah,
but it's just he was doing with his own variants, right?
Yeah.
And trying to keep them out.
yeah.
So that's a whole different thing. I think this is well and above
Mm-hmm.
where Kang's at.
I want a movie now though, since this is like officially part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where there's like 10 people with all the Infinity Stones battling it out in one universe for full control of everything. Like this, get all the Infinity Stones from everywhere. It'd be like 10 different Thanoses going
Well,
after each other.
Is that even like
It wouldn't make
theoretically
matter,
is
but-
that
It would-
even possible?
It would be, yeah, because there's an infinite number.
I mean, if they
of
really
universes.
wanted to do that,
There's an infinite number.
you
of
would need
stones.
to
Yeah, that's
just
not
go
possible.
after the Ego Stone, which there's only one of those.
Okay, so it's like 10 people with every stone all
right.
fighting for that one.
So you have your reality, your mind, your time, your soul, your power, and your space, right?
Yeah.
There's also another one called the Ego Stone, which there's only one
Fill
throughout
me in.
everything.
What does that fill me in?
Well, because
It boosts
all
your
of the
ego.
stones plus the Ego Stone used to be one being in the universe. What's her name? Can't remember her name. But it used to be one like all-powerful being
Yeah.
who like split apart and created these singularities that became the Infinity Gems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once they go back together, like the Ego Stone is like her mind, I think, or something, or essentially her.
So could you
her
bring
spirit, but
bring her spirit back if you?
I don't know.
if
She
you
like
got-
comes back for in comics a couple times, I think, but
That's cool.
so there's only a few people that have held the Ego Stone, and I think Loki is one of them. One variant of Loki, I don't remember.
I just think it'd be super cool to have a bunch of people with all the other stones from all those universes fighting over the one Ego Stone. Then
Yeah,
that'd
the
be
Ego Gem, I guess.
the
In
Ego
comics, they're
Gem. My
gems.
bad.
Yeah.
Either way, that'd
in
be
the
super
movies, they're
cool.
stones.
That'd be super cool.
I don't know. I don't think we'll do anything with the stones anymore. I think we're past that.
Yep, I do too. I agree.
What do you think they're gonna go?
I think they're doing multiverse stuff, and
Yep.
I think they're gonna do like, well, I think
It'll
there's
eventually go cosmic.
I think
We're
cosmic.
setting up cosmic
I think
and celestial
Galactus
stuff.
is something they're setting up for.
Galactus, yeah.
Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer.
I think
Another one of the Illuminati, Mr. Fantastic.
which
He's one of the
there's
Illuminati,
another
so
rumor that he is.
kinda looks like him a little
well,
bit.
there's a rumor that the 2004. or
Ian, what's his face?
what's his name? The guy who played him in the first two movies.
in Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
okay.
he's coming back too as one of the Illuminati members. And then I've also heard that they're actually fan casting the fan cast of John Krasinski for the MCU version, and they're gonna like kind of set that up for the MCU.
John
We'll see what happens.
John Krasinski. What do I know that name from?
He's
Jim
Jim
Halpert
Halpert from
The
The
Office.
Office.
Oh, duh.
So there's
Okay.
A Quiet
I'm sorry,
Place.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel
Jim
fans
Halpert.
Marvel fans and like people forever have been trying to like get Marvel to fan cast the Mr. and Miss Fantastic as him and Emily Blunt, like his wife. And
That'd be kinda
because
cool.
honestly, like I think it would work
This
really well.
one.
That would. They already have
Um,
chemistry. Obviously, they're
Yeah, they have
married.
chemistry. I think John
We'll see what
Krasinski's a
happens.
great actor. So is Emily Blunt.
Can we get Mr. Incredible as well?
But
No. But we'll see what happens there. I don't know. It'd be interesting because they end up having kids, and Franklin, his son, ends up
it's insane.
being a celestial.
Yeah.
So that would work in a little bit with
Yeah.
cosmic stuff going on.
Yeah.
And they've always deal with the cosmic stuff.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll
And-
see.
And there's also like I've seen people kind of theorize maybe they're gonna change Galactus a little bit to be like a rogue celestial that
An actual being.
like is kind like so.
Well, he's actually gonna be.
Yeah, he actually is a beat, but like
the
was-
the last time I thought of Galactus was the dumb Silver Surfer. That's my
Yeah, that's
extent.
not
yeah.
Galactus.
That's
no.
it. That's
So-
that's the extent of my knowledge.
Galactus is
Yeah.
actually like a giant, like
Yeah.
humanoid person.
yeah. So like the
Okay.
theory that
A
I've seen is
celestial.
like
He's huge.
that with what happened in
is.
Eternals, they're gonna make him like a kind of a celestial with whatever that mind disease was called. I can never say it. That Angelina Jolie's character had.
The deviant syndrome or whatever. It's
Yeah.
called. I don't
Like
remember
that's
what it's called.
infected
Yeah.
with that, and like it causes him to hunger for like stuff, and that's how he becomes Galactus. Like
Eater of
he's-
Worlds.
yeah, devour of worlds.
It's interesting. They're kind of like doing weird things with the Celestials,
Yeah,
but I don't know where they're gonna go with it. Really,
which yeah, I'm
he's such a different type of Celestial, even if it's the same race technically. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, and have you seen that theory like that Thanos was the reason why Thanos was on his like mission to wipe out half the universe was because he had that mind disease, and that's like
I don't
how
know.
like he was trying to process and deal
Just
with it.
about balance, man.
But
That's all things should be. Balance.
That's all they should be.
it's kind of funny though, like how like he was like the big bad of the like
I
the
can't remember what the
Infinity
actual
Saga,
name of
right?
that
And like
thing is,
but now like they're making it like he's okay, maybe he was right. Like they joke about that a lot now. Like with Eternals, they basically said he prevented Earth from being destroyed sooner, and then Hawkeye has like all the stuff about Thanos is right, like joking like the mug and stuff like that. I think that's kind of funny. But no, can I get back to Doctor Strange? Like there's a lot of really crazy stuff going on. Like
wiry.
yeah, it's
Or whatever it's called, I
something.
can't remember.
I know how like it's said, but I can't say it right, so I'm not even gonna try.
The sickness, mind ailments. or
Yeah,
whatever,
but like, I think it's really cool that we're finally getting like variants, like of different like. So there's 3 confirmed Doctor Strange variant. Well, one the original Strange,
Superior Strange.
Superior Strange, and then
Is that an
Sinister
evil
Strange.
version?
Sinister.
No,
Yeah.
it's Sinister Strange and Defender Strange. Those are the 2.
What's the Strange that we know? Just the
So
regular?
that's
That's
just
just Doctor
that's gonna be
Strange.
strange.
Okay.
So that's probably
How
what-
strange.
The guy, the
Very
one
good.
that it shows when he's got the strips of silver
The-
through his
the,
hair,
like-
that looks
Yeah.
like Superior Strange.
The one with the ponytail, that's Defender Strange. They've said that's Defender Strange, and then the one like the evil looking one is
With the strip down. is-
Sinister Strange is what they've called him. And then the original just one we have is
We'll see.
normal
Just,
Doctor.
I don't know.
just regular Doctor.
Yeah, but so yeah, I think they're setting up for a lot of cool cameos, a lot of cool stuff. It'd be really cool to get like somebody said this, and I think it'd be cool like see like Chris Evans come back and like just as like a cameo, and
It
like
would only be cameo.
but like
is they can't pay him money.
Yeah, but
Like
like
RDJ can't pay him money. It's
Yeah.
so much.
but like he comes as like a cameo and like he's like walking through or like they're in this multiverse like whatever the scenario is, but like he walks up to Strange and he's like, oh, like Cap, you're like okay, and he like goes flame on and he turns fire and it's just that would actually be kind of cool.
So dumb.
That would
That'd
be kind of
so
cool.
stupid.
That would be kind of cool
Captain
though.
America.
That's his.
But in the
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Chris
then he
Evans plays
played.
Steve
He
Rogers.
also played.
I know
the
he
Human
played.
Torch.
He played Human Torch in the original
Yeah.
Fantastic
Johnny
Four.
Storm.
But
that would be
Storm,
actually pretty
yeah.
funny.
that'd be awesome. But no, like,
That'd be so.
see, that's the
I
thing,
agree.
though.
That'd be really stupid.
That's the thing.
Flame
though.
on.
They could
They
do
can
that.
do anything.
They could do that. That's the crazy
This
part.
opens up anything
Like
for them to do.
we thought Spider-Man was nuts, right? With having all three of the Spider-Man in it. But now, like,
They can do everything.
They could do
This is
any
going to bring anything. This is
universe.
going to bring. They can do Spider-Verse.
you could do.
Spider-Verse is literally all this, but just about Spider-Man.
Oh my
You could
gosh!
do the
don't-
Japanese
don't-
Spider-Man.
don't
It's
do
freaking
that.
amazing.
You could do
I
Japanese
mean,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Gwen will happen soon. I bet.
Yeah.
How much?
Oh, 100%.
Miles Morales will happen soon.
Yep.
Like, there's
really
so
think so?
many. Yeah.
Yo, 100%.
I
Absolutely.
love how in the
soon. I
movie,
say
though-
soon. That doesn't mean like
They've.
the next
I mean,
year or
they've
two,
already.
but they will
teased Miles
happen,
Morales.
guaranteed.
I love how in the movie he was like, I'm sure there's a black Spider-Man out there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
Miles Morales.
They
yeah,
said
that's the thing.
They
Yeah.
said that, and they also teased it way back in Homecoming. Like
Yeah.
they had him, like Peter, like interrogate
uncle,
Aaron
Aaron.
Donald, who is the Prowler, and like he said, "Hey, I got a nephew that lives here," like, and like that's Miles Morales.
Aaron Davis.
So like he or Darius, yeah.
Yeah.
Davis.
And so like
Wait,
this,
which one was this?
this was Homecoming. The
That was
first Spider-Man
Childish
movie.
The
Gambino.
first one.
Yeah, Childish Gambino.
The first Spider-Man one, where he is.
Was it Vulture or was it? It was. That
was the Vulture.
Yeah, it
one.
was
Okay,
Vulture.
I'll have to rewatch that
Yeah.
because I don't remember that.
Yeah,
scene.
so he says he's like it's the guy who he interrogates. It's Donald Glover, and he like webs his hand to the car trunk, and then he like does a scary voice and like tries to
Oh,
interrogate
okay,
him.
yeah, I
And
remember
he's
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Well, he
You've
said,
never done this before, have you?
yeah, and then he's like, well, I got a nephew that lives here, and like he helps him out. His nephew is Miles Morales in the comics.
Yeah.
Is
And
it,
so, like,
is
yeah,
it,
Aaron
is
Davis,
it
the Prowler.
confirmed,
Yeah.
confirmed and everything?
Well, like that's
Well,
just how it is in the
that's
comics.
the
Aaron
comic-
Davis
that's in
is
all comics.
Miles.
Okay.
He is
Like he's the
yeah.
Prowler.
Okay.
He is Aaron Davis. Like he's
Dude, that actually
Miles
was pretty
Morales'
freaking
uncle.
sick. So, I mean, I won't. So this is outside of. I think this is freaking amazing. That endless possibilities at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, like just period.
yeah.
Give
Like,
me
I mean, like
huge
at this
jacked
point,
man.
at this point, we could geek out about all this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. The multiverse, from what I saw from the Spider-Man, I love this newest Spider-Man movie. It almost seemed like the way they did about it was a little bit lazy with how they did about
I
it.
think they did it perfect.
I think they
did
did too.
amazing, I think.
I think
So
they did
explain.
Like, explain what do you mean by lazy?
Yeah.
So from what I got from most of these guys, from most of these, like, okay, I watch a lot of film reviews and all this stuff, so
Yeah.
they might not know a lot about them.
Sure.
They're more of like film tone and film, like,
Yeah.
you know, like all this other stuff. So they might not be.
So are these your opinions or the opinions of the
No,
reviewers?
this is the opinions. I'm trying.
Everybody's
I'm
got
trying,
opinion. There's endless.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
everything,
get
so-
some perspective here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So how they brought about it was that, like, the way they brought about this this multiverse was this concept within the Marvel universe was just kind of just brought up within this movie.
I mean, it
Oh.
had to be though.
Yeah.
How were they going to do
Yeah.
it?
But
was-
like what they were hoping for was like there could have been a little bit of build up within the original.
they have.
I mean, they
before
alluded
Endgame.
to it in Far From Home.
Yeah.
They they talked about it. They showed it in the TV series, which
Yeah.
is canon.
Yeah.
And then we got No Way Home, which really showed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that probably
outside
shows
of Loki.
that probably
Yeah.
shows the limitless. Like, obviously, I just watched the movies. I didn't watch the TV
Yeah.
show. It
Yeah.
probably just shows that they just watched the movies and they didn't
Yeah,
understand it.
that was like
okay, so
Loki's big-
that's what I was.
That was all.
That
about
was literally
Loki.
Loki's
Okay.
the Loki show's big deal is like it introduced the multiverse.
Okay, so that's all I was interested
Yeah.
in. Like, just like I'm like. I was hoping this was like canon and like this wasn't
That's-
just
yeah.
this wasn't just an excuse to just toss in a bunch of these old actors or old characters
No.
back
No.
into
It was done very tastefully. Done
Okay.
right, in my
Like it
opinion.
was done very well.
Which I'm-
honestly,
I
it
mean,
was
like watching for the first time as
it's perfectly done in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
I
It's
say
amazing.
watching through like this. Sarah just showed me like it took her a long time, but I eventually watched through like all the. I would say the movies that really led me into Endgame and all those movies, like you know what I mean, like movies that would help you understand the next movie.
Yeah.
She showed me all that, and like I mean, I'm a guy who loves watching really good movies and all this other stuff. I won't go into detail, but I mean, Endgame with all the build up
Yep.
I mean, like just the build up and then all the
21 movies at that point?
was the most.
lot.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had.
Oh, yeah,
period.
100%.
And I've watched
Yep.
a lot of
You're not
freaking movies.
alone in that, man.
Yep.
That was one of the most beautiful.
Yep,
I mean, like
agree.
this was. I mean, you gotta remember, this was only me watching in it within a month. You guys
Yeah.
had years that you guys had to like really wait between. Maybe I don't know how many years. Maybe 1 or 2 years.
We watched
before-
everything in succession before Endgame.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta remember, for like a lot of
But
fans,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a year or two before they had to watch from between Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Yeah.
And like I watched all this within a month, and even still, I was emotional, and I was just like, man, like
I feel like that's the
Yeah.
better way to
Even-
do it.
even I thought,
I don't know.
We
even
had
even I
Years to
thought,
stew.
Yeah, I liked that because I remember I watched the first like phase 1 stuff, and then I watched the first Avengers movie at a drive-in, and that was when I got hooked on it. I was like, okay, this is different.
And
Like,
it's a good
we're
movie.
I
in
saw
it.
it in
Yeah.
theaters. I dressed up as Iron Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I was
one of
like-
those guys.
Riley
okay.
Edwards was Thor. Nate Jensen was Captain America.
That's
but
great.
like I remember that because I was like,
That was amazing.
this is different. Like I knew right then and there we're entering a new age of superhero movies, and then like
It was the start.
and then they did the whole like
Of-
tease of like Thanos right away, and like immediately like you start speculating on what's coming next, and like it was so cool. And like every movie since then, you just do it. Like you like, okay, what's happening?
It's a
what's
culture
gonna come next?
now.
Like yeah, it's awesome. And
Like I love this. I was a huge comic book superhero fan, Marvel, before even these movies started. So
Yeah.
that was
that and those
icing on the
these
cake
movies
for me.
are what got me into comics.
But like that's what made it good.
Mhm.
That's why Endgame was so, like you said, like an emotional event, right?
Yeah.
It's because the buildup of how these, was it 10 years, 20 some
10 years.
movies.
It was a masterpiece, honestly. It
Like-
really was.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, that's what made Endgame good.
Yeah.
Endgame is not my favorite movie. I think there's
Winter Soldier.
lots of issues with Endgame.
Winter
to be
Soldier was
honest,
amazing.
I think Endgame has lots of issues, but it didn't matter at that point
No.
because it was the end.
Yeah.
Like
So
it
ca-
was the bill. It was the final straw in all of it. It was
Yep.
amazing.
So-
But there, I have lots of issues with Endgame. But
That's actually what I was gonna ask. Like, hopefully we're not getting too off topic here.
it's too much.
Like,
Yeah.
so, like, what do you mean? Because, like, I mean, like, I watched it. I've only watched it one time.
Just-
I mean, I was more like, just, I mean, like, I was within the pumped up stage. Like,
Sure.
I'm ready for this. It's like,
Yeah, it was
just,
a lot.
yeah,
It's such a great thing.
Well, yeah, I've
but
only watched it one time, so I'm
great
kind
movie.
of curious. What did you think was
It's
wrong
it was
with
too much. They didn't have enough. It wasn't. It didn't flow correctly. There wasn't enough time.
Do you think character
for it
building,
to be
maybe?
structure? Like it was just. Oh, we have all of these characters. We can't give them all what they need to make them, a fulfilling character throughout in this movie. It was just the main people, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's just it wasn't dialogue heavy building up to certain there was
Yeah.
no lulls in it at all. It was just next thing, next
Go,
thing,
go,
next
go,
thing,
go.
next
I
thing.
agree. I agree.
It was too much to put in one movie, but they did a very valiant effort
Yeah.
and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not the best movie out there.
I say, would it be fair to say that if they did, like, theoretically, an Endgame Part 1 and then an Endgame Part
they
2,
kinda
that
Isn't
everyone
Fatal,
everyone would be
It would be
complaining.
terrible, but-
Everyone would be complaining
yeah.
that they're stretching this out way too much. But now you're saying, like, within one movie, it's just
It's
boom,
too
boom,
much,
boom,
yeah.
boom. So, like, there's really, I feel like those are the best way they could have done it.
Yeah.
It was the
I feel like
best
no
way.
matter how you do it, people are going to be
It's just-
disappointed either way.
I also feel
It's
like
just so much material.
Infinity
They could have
War
done a
was
trilogy
kinda
of just
part
that
one.
movie,
Yeah.
and they would have probably still needed more.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. It's the best that they could do.
Yeah.
And
I
it
say,
was
I
fantastic
personally
for what it was.
love it. I mean, it was emotional. I mean, like I said, I only watched it within a month, and I was tearing up. I mean, it was that last scene when they all come back together, Avengers Assemble. I mean, I was literally,
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the battle. I'm not gonna lie, I was too busy trying to get my eyes cleared. I was just like, man, that was emotional.
It's awesome.
It is good.
Which it kind of goes into like we saw in Spider-Man with the culmination of all the Spider-Man movies, and then now
That one did it perfectly though.
Yeah,
No, I would agree.
'Cause
That
it
was-
wasn't.
but I'm talking about like
There was a
that
few
build
issues
up.
on
Like,
that.
that was the, you can kind of say that was the end game of Spider-Man. Obviously Spider-Man
Yeah.
can keep going, but like it was the culmination of all.
That's an
what,
era.
20 years of
that's
Spider-Man.
an era
Sure.
of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then now we get to Doctor Strange. We're gonna see that with more franchises, X-Men, Fantastic Four potentially.
It's a good concept.
the MCU in general. Like it's gonna be like really interesting to see all of these. And like I know there's concept art that's came out about showing like Professor X, and he's sitting in the chair. It's like the same chair from the X-Men TV series, the animated series. Which
That's not what it looks like in
it's
the
like
actual
well
trailer.
In the trailer,
That's
yeah.
artwork. So
Yeah.
I don't
But,
know.
like-
I don't think it is from the TV series, but we'll see.
How old is he now?
He's old,
Patrick
man.
Stewart, he's
old.
really old.
And you should really watch this TV series, Sarah.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're canon, and it's too much for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they had more time throughout a series. So
Yeah.
definitely watch those.
How old is
They're
Patrick
really, really
Stewart?
fantastic.
He's gotta be about
They add a lot to the
70s,
universe,
80s.
and they are definitely the spotlight of
81.
the
Yep.
series.
81,
So
yep.
definitely watch those.
Yeah.
Really,
He's
really good.
81, just for Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart's age.
And
Yeah.
so
That's old.
but like just the idea, like if that is gonna happen, like if that was, they keep that and they're gonna use that like idea of like him using that chair, like even the fact they're like going all the way back to like the like animated series and like not necessarily being that version of the character, but like just harking back to that
variant of
stuff.
it.
It
or
pays
something.
homage. To
Yeah,
it.
like that's so cool, especially because they're bringing that series back, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Like there's a lot of cool stuff that there's.
X-Men 97 is that?
Yeah,
Which is funny because that's when it ended.
yeah,
So it's just a continuation.
yeah.
It's kind
Which
of cool,
people
though.
wanted forever. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I had something good. I mean, it makes sense because everything, even technically in Marvel canon lore, like this universe is a universe in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
But there's
Earth
multiple-
616 is the Marvel universe, the prime one that we all know.
Yeah,
But
this
there's
is like
multiple out there,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
What is the MCU?
Endless.
It's
the
like
MCU is like
it's a
1,000 something, right?
yeah, it's like some weird long number.
And then ours would be like another Earth something,
Yeah,
which is where that Marvel universe is just,
yeah.
the MCU
Well, isn't
for
there
us,
even isn't there even like a thing where like even the DC multiverse is connected somehow? Because I thought
yeah,
they
they've
did that.
got-
Like,
Marvel
there's, like, this-
Avengers and the Justice League
Yeah.
have fought a
Like,
number of times.
Yeah,
so
but like there's like an explainer.
my
I remember there being like an
gosh, guys,
explainer in one.
Don't do that to me.
yeah,
Don't get me that excited.
there's a couple
because-
comments.
Oh my
But,
gosh!
like,
Because if they ever do
yeah,
that, I'm gonna
that'd
be
be-
free.
all universes are
I'm gonna be
connected at
pissing my
some point.
pants. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh man.
I thought I remember reading or a comic or
DC.
something.
like
where
they're
it was like-
different, but they do interconnect sometimes.
Yeah, because I thought there was some like being that in one of the Avengers and Justice League crossovers that like was the bridge between both, and like it caused the universes to merge. Like, but
Was
they're
that
like
a-
separate multiverses in the same sense too. Like it was kind of a weird. I can't remember
not
it
the-
very much.
is not the Beyonder or the High Evolutionary or something like that. I can't remember. One of those crazy, stupid, powerful, random villains that
Yeah.
just make a mockery of
So
everything.
so let's just say theoretically this does happen. DC and Marvel come back together.
We're getting a
Does-
whole
does-
other topic
does,
here.
does Henry? Do you
That's
think?
all right.
Do you think Henry Cavill will be the Superman?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think if they ever did that, I don't think Marvel would allow it to be this DCEU.
Henry
think-
Cavill. So
No,
I think
do you think Henry Cavill?
Henry
would
Cavill
be a
is.
good, I liked
been
him.
Rumored to be Captain Britain in the MCU.
yeah,
so,
yep. I
Which
think
is cool.
I think if we ever got, and honestly, it's a huge long shot because that would mean WB and Disney would have to work well together,
Yeah.
and that's just probably not going to happen. But if it did, I think from Kevin Feige's perspective, if I was him, I'd be like, the DCEU needs a huge reboot, and they need
Absolutely.
like, they need to
it's a
get-
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Like, they
they
need
were
to be-
so lazy with the Justice League.
they need to get their
Absolutely.
Have you watched
Infinity
the
Saga
Snyder Cut?
down.
It's actually
I'm not.
way
I
better.
don't want to dedicate 4 hours to watching.
I wanna
Honestly,
watch it,
it's
but
worth it.
I want to watch it,
I
but I
have it,
just
dude.
don't. I have it
We'll
too
have to
on
watch
my
it sometime.
computer, but
I'd be-
It's
I'd
worth
be ready
it.
to watch it.
It's worth it. It's
Let's-
actually really
But-
pretty
Well,
good.
I have it on my computer as well.
Once we're done, let's set it up. I'd be down.
I
honestly.
gotta work, so I can't. But
No, I mean like one
Sometime,
like,
yeah.
No, I mean like
I'm
one day.
down.
I mean like one day. Yeah, let's
I'm
just set it
down.
up. I'm actually down.
we got a lot of stuff to watch with you, man. We need to go through that Star Wars TV series,
yes.
I got some more hours off. So
But
the Marvel TV series. Lots of
Yeah,
stuff.
there's definitely a lot. I feel like we probably should call it here though at some point.
We could go on forever. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's been an hour 40 now. So
we'll just end it with lots of crazy cool things are happening in
Yes.
the MCU.
Oh,
and I'm
I'm-
excited come May.
Yes.
I'm
So,
pumped, man.
it's gonna be
Yes.
awesome.
Me and Sarah are definitely gonna be going to that movie. So I'm
It's gonna be
pumped.
good.
Oh, let's see it.
It's gonna be
Probably
good for
multiple
sure.
times.
I'm sure we're all gonna go as a group, right? Like we
course.
normally
Oh,
do.
probably.
Always.
Well, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I say normally we just all go as a group over
I mean,
Osterville.
Okay.
More than welcome, sir.
Well, hey, Sarah.
There you go.
There you
We're
go.
going.
Yeah, we should probably call it here though, because like I said, I gotta start my stream in 20 minutes. We gotta flip the stream pretty quick.
You're
so.
fine.
We good.
So guys, thank you so much for watching episode 34. Yes, 34. I made that joke like 50 times before, and I already forgot the name. So
Before.
haha, I wasn't even thinking about that. But thank you so much for watching episode 34 of Uncalled For, where every single Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, we get together here on twitch.tv/Huge Media Studios and just talk random stuff. And then 5 days a week over on youtube.com/Huge Media. We upload segments and then the full show on Friday the following week. So if you miss it, you can always watch it there. Or if you subscribe here on Twitch, then you can watch the VOD immediately after. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and hanging out. Been a blast as always, Chris. It was fun having you on your first official episode.
Yeah.
In the chair.
In the chair. He was here last week, but he was, behind the scenes, not really on mic.
So
He was the guy.
honest
in the
question,
chair.
like, so say Weston comes back, would I probably just be back there?
Yeah, guy in the chair.
We'll just
We
give
can
you
also set up the other
Tim
mic,
Cam.
right?
Just give me
yeah,
a mic.
I'll give him the mic and the camera just like we did with Tim back
Give me a
when Tim
mic
used to
and
be here, so.
I'll take
Join us.
I'll take care of the comments.
You
Be
can
like,
do whatever
yo.
you want, man. But thanks for watching, guys. Been a blast as always. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.